Work. Adam Copeland and Derek Papa in the KNBR Casino Matrix Progressive Jackpot Studios. Casino Matrix Progressive Jackpots are here. Where are you? Just drop in. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Dirty Work rolls on a Tuesday afternoon. Adam Copeland, D-Pop, Tim Webb with you. The question at hand is really the point that Tim made weeks ago in his Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia after a fan interfered with a ball at Oracle Park, right? Wasn't that at Oracle?
Nope, in San Diego.
It was in San Diego that happened, right? In San Diego in the front row.
Elias Diaz had a home run, and the ball went over the railing or went over the wall.
Nothing was. It was a home run anyway.
Yeah, it was a home run anyway. It bounced off a guy's watch, if I remember correctly, but he definitely was trying to interfere with the ball, but the ball went back enough where you could say it was a home run. Last night, this guy, Dave McCascal, he definitely interfered with the ball.
The thing that makes no sense to me is this guy claims to be a Diamondbacks fan. He says it's 24. Well, I guess. But if he thinks he's catching home run balls, why is he trying to catch a borderline home run ball for the visiting team that would tie the game?
That's my thing. Like last night,
he's not really a D-backs fan. He's a fan. He's putting himself first. He wants to win this little catch home run baseball competition with his
wants
buddies.
to rack up home run balls. But yes.
What do you get? It must be a cool prize.
No, it's just, we got sound.
I think we have the audio. Here's what it sounded like last night, and we got to get to some calls.
Koss hits a high drive left field. Going back on the ball, Tawa at the wall. He'll leap, and it is gone! Christian Koss. And the umpire's calling fan interference. Oh, they're calling the batter out? No way. Come on. Adrian Johnson is calling Koss out. So they're still looking at it in New York. The run is off the board. 3-2 is still officially the score. Diamondbacks leading the Giants, but in my opinion, that should be a home run.
Okay, so that's what it sounds like last night. They end up not calling it a home run. I think they get the call right in general based on the interference of the fan. The issue is the fans should never be interfering. We should be allowed to see the ball do what it needs to do, whether it hits off the wall, whether it's an inside the park home run, whether it's a triple. Hell, Christian Koss was playing with a pulled hamstring there. Who knows how far he gets if the ball ricochets off the wall. That's the point. And so people are asking, like, why are you going to have this guy McCascal on? I think the hope is, like, the D-backs do something about this. You know what I mean? This guy can't have 10 different plays reviewed as a fan by sitting in those spots, or they move him from those seats. Like, the guy's making it a point to interfere in games on the basis of, well, I'm just doing it to catch home run balls. But he's not even helping his team in every one of these cases. He did it with Joey Bart. He did it with Koss last night. Let's go out to the phone lines here. We got to get to one quickly here because I don't know how much time this guy has. Marty is in San Quentin. What's up, Marty? You're on the Sports Leader. How much time you got, bro?
Hey, Carbs. 15 minutes from the time she answered the call.
All right.
So I think it's a real simple solution. If it's a visiting team that's hitting the ball over the fence or near the fence and the fan interferes, it's a home run. If
you have 60 seconds remaining.
If the fan is interfering with the home team, it's an automatic out. And I guarantee it'll stop because you're going to punish the team that you go to see, and the fans are not going to want that to happen, so they're going to stop doing it.
Yeah, I hear you. That's kind of my point, though, with this guy, McCascal. Is like he didn't really care clearly because he jumped in and took a home run that might have been a home run for the opposing team. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. You're right. I get it. It affects the visiting team more, but how many fans in that situation are smart enough to make that call?
Well, you'd hope that that they have some common sense involved and stay out of the playing field, but obviously that wasn't the case last night.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if Major League Baseball did that, it would put an end to it. The other thing is I'm fully in support of Bob Melvin now that he actually gets to drive the ship. Let him drive. He's doing a good job now that he's not being interfered with, and I think
so close.
I think that's it. We lost Marty.
Marty from San Quentin.
Marty, call anytime. Marty, call anytime, brother. We tried to get to you as quickly as we could. I knew he was
dealing with the time frame.
Well, I knew he was going to be on a tight time crunch. I asked Jordo, Dirty Work's favorite little sister, who took the call. She came in. She said, "Have you spoken to him before?" And I said, "No, we haven't." I said, ask him how much time he has. It was during the commercial.
Yeah.
She said, he's got all day. Said,
No, he doesn't.
I was like, no.
Not with phone calls.
He's on the clock. I was like, come on. We got you. Marty, I appreciate the call, man. Call
Thank you,
anytime,
Marty.
brother. And a reasonable take, I think, in terms. It's funny how he said that. Like,
Come on, Quinn.
If you punish fan interference only for the home team or the visiting team, it would get really muddy in terms of
definitely
when
would.
that situation happens.
Bottom
so you'd say
line is-
automatically that player's out there every time.
Yeah.
But if he's at home, it's automatically a home run every time. You can't go that black and white.
Couple of months ago,
That's me saying that.
Tim had this take for anybody. If it was one time even, if you interfered with a game, interfered with the ball during a baseball game, you were banned for life. We were like, whoa, that's a little extreme. This guy, it's well documented. John Boy had it last night. There's 4 different occasions, or maybe 5.
I think there was like, at first I saw they put out a video saying he's had 4 different balls like this or reviews on this guy, this fan, since 2023 or something. Then this morning I saw another one on TikTok where a woman had added like a 5th or a 6th one to it, like a 5th one. So he went on and did his interview where he claimed to have 9 or 10 reviewed.
Regardless, there's a rap sheet. There's a history with this guy. And I think that I'm in favor of banning this guy for life when it comes to baseball. I'm sorry, but like he shows up to Chase Field all the time and interferes with the game and he gloats about it. And I know we're going to have him on our air and, we're going to be honest with him. But at the same time, I cannot condone this guy's actions. Like he just wants to be the star of a baseball game where he's a paying fan. You're not the point of attention right now. So, yeah, and I know that's hypocritical because we're gonna have him on next. But this guy seems insane to me.
See,
so,
I don't think. Here's my thing. I'm not in favor of banning for life in this situation because nobody's punished him to a point to be like, you can't be doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
But somebody should,
This is
though.
as much on like the parents as it is the kid right here. Like he's the kid and the D-backs are the parent. It's happening left and right to the point where players know who you are.
Yeah.
And players are calling you the home run stealer, which he thinks is a badge of honor. And I'm going, dude, Arizona, your job is to protect the sanctity of the game. If this were happening with the Mets, you think this is flying? If this were happening with the Yankees, is this flying?
Probably
If this were
not.
happening with the Cubs, is this flying? If it was happening with the Red Sox, is this not getting run in the way it should be getting run? Like, there's no organization that wants to be responsible for the fan who's interfering with the game to the point where there's 9 to 10 reviews over a number of years. And then when you get his reasoning behind it, it's got a contest with my buddies who can see who can catch the most home run balls. I'm like, I don't know that you ban him for life. I think that you say, hey, if you want to be a paid season ticket holder, you don't sit in fair ground anymore. You now sit in foul territory.
Well, and
behind a net.
Here's the Pandora's box argument, too. If you're in a competition with 3 of your buddies, how many times have your buddies reached over and messed
That's what I
with
mean.
the
Is
play?
now
Where does
you've
it
created
stop?
exactly, Tim. You've created a domino effect. So I don't think there's intentional malice in like I'm going to interfere with the game because I hear him, but I think that he's so blind to the fact that he has interfered with the game so much he doesn't think that. Yeah, I think he loves this attention too, which neither here nor there. I think he likes that he's getting the attention for catching these balls. I think he wants to be the guy who does that. That said, I don't know that I believe in like banning for life. Like it's a slippery slope then. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's a reason you ban him for life. He didn't run on the field and attack anybody or anything like that. I'm just like, the team as an organization should be responsible for its fans.
Then what
and
punishment
for the
should he get
quality
then?
of the game. I'm saying if he wants to stay a season ticket holder, I believe that the team should take those seats away and say you can sit elsewhere in foul territory or in the second deck where you're not able to interfere with the game.
That
Because
seems fair.
I'm saying that if you want, I'm not saying the team shouldn't take the guy's money. If they want his money, they should.
Yeah, but at the same time, this guy's interfered with the game too many times. I can't trust him anymore. And Arizona pretty much
But he only does it by opportunity. Like he said the reason he started doing this was he was sitting in foul ground one time and he caught a foul ball and then he said, how cool would it be to catch a home run? Like I don't think he's doing like if they tell him he can't do it, then it's grounds for ejection every time. If they tell him you're not allowed to be there.
I don't know. The videos that I've seen of this guy, it seems like he's reaching over quite a bit of time. So I would say,
Yes, I'm saying if you move him away from there, then maybe that settles it, or he stops going to games altogether.
yeah, but I think there's a good enough rap sheet on this guy where I would feel comfortable banning him from every baseball park in America.
I
You
think
have
it's
60 seconds remaining.
dude, I think that's an overstep, dude. That got
Keep that
me, dude.
around, Tim.
That got me during the. I don't want to laugh at our
You
dude.
have 60 seconds remaining.
That should be our basically your hint to tell
you
us.
guys
Like,
are going a little long.
let's go. Let's go. Wrap it up,
60
guys.
seconds remaining.
That's pretty damn good, dude. That's good. Jordan, you accepted that collect call, right?
Is she talking on the
gone?
air?
Oh, she's gone. 775 says, I hope we introduce our guy Marty to that douche. Our guy Marty from San Quentin to that douche Dave McCascal from the game last night.
I like Marty.
Yeah. People going, he's giving McCovey Cove Dave vibes. I think they fell off the same tree.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you. I think if McCovey Cove Dave could reach a ball in play from the Cove, he would. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Or he certainly wouldn't give it back to the player if it meant something.
Yeah.
Let's go back out to the phone lines here at 808 KNBR. Let's go to Sean, who's in Watsonville. Sean in Watsonville, you're on the Sports Leader.
Yeah, that's John.
Oh, what's up, John? Sorry about that.
Well, yeah, no, it's okay. No, I was thinking that someone along the lines of the guy from San Quentin, except a little bit clearer, is okay. Fan reaches out, you make the review and that, and if it's real obvious, you do the obvious thing. But if it's close, like it was, whatever jersey or hat the fan is wearing, it goes against their team, whatever ruling. And they should just put that in play, and you'll find out who the fans are and who the idiots are.
It's a slippery slope, man.
Yeah.
Because, that's one way to get me to wear a Dodger hat. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I'd be out there in Dodger blue interfering with every ball I could get my hands on,
You
bro.
could just sabotage the game for your team's benefit. No, I don't like that.
Well, and I was also thinking about the hitting we've had, and they'll never do it. But the Giants should just say, hey, we're going to fine everybody that hits a home run just $1,000. They're all making enough money that's nothing. But it'll give them the incentive to hit more, just singles, just hit the ball, instead of going for the fences every damn time.
Appreciate the call, John. Thanks so much, man. I'm not a fan of the fans I'm not a fan of changing a rule to have the fan be involved in the game at all. I don't want the fan involvement in the game at all. That's kind of the point here.
No.
Is the fans should not have a say in what happens on the field whatsoever.
And I'm not down with that suggestion either, because you're going to have fans go Bobby Valentine and dress up like opposing fans just to screw over that team. No, not a fan of that.
Dress up like Bobby Valentine.
Yeah, just like show up like, well, good thing I have this Dodger hat, and just put that on. Like, oh, I guess you're gonna have to award a run to the Giants then. No, then we're not doing that.
928 checks in on the Golden State Lumber and Showroom text line. I think this feels like it's just like a homie who wanted to hit us up.
Okay.
Who maybe wasn't even listening to the show but wanted to get a hold of us because they thought of us. I guess like the Diddy verdict has come down.
Okay.
Like guilty of everything. Just 928 just says, all caps, D-Pop, Diddy's guilty on all counts, and he tried to kill Pac, too.
Hey, man. I'm not here defending Diddy.
And then not in all caps, he says to me, Copes, Diddy's guilty too, bro. Yeah.
All right.
I responded to him, bro. Yeah, all right.
What, did a verdict come down?
Yeah, I think all counts. I
can't say anything about the Tupac stuff, but yeah, maybe all this other stuff is true.
916 says, Copes don't lie. You'd never be caught dead in Dodger blue. Right, you are. Let's go to Raj, who's in the East Bay. What's up, Raj? You're on the Sports Leader.
How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
And thank you, and thanks for taking my call. I wanted to talk about Bob Melvin, but quickly, I think, Copes, you're right on. Give him the warning, at least, because there's not been a warning. But I just feel him saying, hey, because I could, I did it. Because I could reach out. So I think it's really on the Diamondbacks to keep the sanctity of the game and prevent fans from reaching over. I'm sure there's some barriers they can do. Coming to Bob Melvin, I think he's like, I've got a moderate feeling. I don't think he got San Diego to where the talent deserved it. I think they had an amazing talent with hitting and pitching. And I don't think he expected the best. I see Giants not very disciplined under him. So, he's fine overall the way he manages his – I think he's a player's coach or manager. But they just do so many silly errors, in hitting and in fielding. I think that's my concern, that are they disciplined enough? Does he instill discipline? I haven't seen it. So I think, again, give him another year, but keep a tight watch.
Appreciate the comment. Thanks so much, Raj. Thanks so much.
I think that's more than fair, but I don't know you could say like he's a player's manager. Like, he's different. You could say like, the guys walked all over Gabe Kapler. I think this is a different thing. They actually respect Bob Melvin. So, yeah, I understand people's frustration with the team right now. He has turned teams around. So I understand like right now things are not going well. But I think Bob Melvin's the right guy to do the job.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting looks from behind the glass here. So what happened is everybody's aware we were supposed to talk to this guy, Dave McCascal. We talked to him before the show. Our guy Jack Loader set up the interview. We had his information. He was supposed to come on with us at 3:15. And
did he cancel?
And we by the way told him this isn't some like friendly interview. Like we're gonna have a little back and forth with you.
Mr. KNBR, do you want to give us an update?
Yeah. What's going on here? Because now they're telling me they're going hand to the neck like this guy bailed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I sent him the link to get on the camera, and he replied with, "Hello, I'm sorry something came up. I'll be unable to do the interview. I apologize for the inconvenience, Dave."
Wow. You know what? Screw this guy. You gonna cancel on us right before the interview starts? What an a-hole.
Rather talk to the guy in San Quentin.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so now everybody that was mad we were doing this interview didn't happen. So now we can trash this guy for a couple more segments. What a joke.
Yeah, I was getting kind of lathered up. I had questions to ask.
By all means,
I was going to get into.
I'll play.
Let's
Dave.
peek behind the curtain. What did you just ask me? You could say.
I was. What a little bitch was what I was wondering if I could say.
You could say that.
What a little bitch.
Yeah.
This guy, Dave McCascal. Really? He's down to come on, and then he's like, no, I won't do it now. So now he doesn't want to come on. He won't do it.
Yeah. It's made pretty clear he doesn't want to come on now.
Anyway,
so I'll play Dave McCascal. Go ahead and give me the questions you were going to ask.
No, it's done. All right, first and foremost, Dave, do you have a wife? 808 KNBR is the number to
just
call.
me and my balls.
My apologies, everybody. I was excited to get into this. I was really excited to lay into this a-hole.
Are you surprised?
No, dude.
See?
No.
He seemed like a slimy word to begin with. So now maybe he was listening to us and he's like, no, I'm not doing this now.
Man, I was really looking forward to getting in that ass, dude. You know what I mean?
This wasn't going to
that
be
was one of us.
Soft landing. Oh, I think you're a nice guy. And you play
dude,
guitar
they were stroking him on the 98.7. Hey, I looked at your social media. You play guitar and you got a cool Corvette and you like to play golf. It's all the stuff I like to do. I'm like, I don't give a damn. Guys interfering with baseball games. You know what I mean? They were trying to kill Steve Barton for sitting up the right field line in Chicago. And the D-backs, who, by the way, just had a player, they got a fan banned from every ballpark in baseball this week because he said something inappropriate about a player's mother who was deceased.
Marte.
That's Marte's mother. They made sure all the players and the coaches knew which guy. And again, I don't think this is on that level, but at 9 to 10 reviews and 24 homers caught, the D-backs are going to let this guy fly. I hope the thing that came up is that they're telling him he's not allowed to sit in those seats anymore. Because that was my whole point in this, was hoping that this is not the publicity the D-backs want.
Yeah, enough attention of saying, look at this jabroni you have here that is become a habitual line stepper.
What a little bitch, dude. Adam Copeland, Depop, Tim Webb. Dave McCascal's not coming on.
You're pissed, huh?
I'm pissed, man. I'm kind of irritated by this. I got excited about this, man.
Well, you know what? Everybody sound off now. Cut a promo on this guy.
F this guy. Giants baseball, 6:40 tonight. First pitch at 5:40 pregame. Now I'm agitated, dude.
2 minutes before he's supposed to come
2 minutes before he's supposed
to
come on.
Hey, you know what? We've had a lot of people cancel on us, but never a nobody. This is ridiculous.
Adam Copeland, Depop. Dude, we've had a lot of somebody's cancel. We never had a nobody blow us off like this.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Oh, dude, we got his phone number. We should just start prank phone calling him. 808 KNBR is the number to call. If you got comments about the interference from yesterday, we can hear what this little B
Now
had
he's
to
interfering
say.
with our show.
Now he's interfering with my show. We were going to go reaction calls to it and all that. Danny Emmerman saves the day. He joins us at 3:50. We still, by the way, everybody, we still have an NBA grab bag to get us over the hump. We've still got a Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia with a very special announcement coming today in the takes. That's what I'm told.
Is Tim having a baby too?
I don't. That'd be a hell of a situation if Tim was also having a baby.
You never go full Walt.
You never go full
Walt.
No more half measures, Walt. Didn't think I was working in a Mike Ehrman crowd, did you?
No.
I did work in a little bit of Jesse Pinkman with that B.
Did you know?
Bitch.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my Jesse Pinkman. No more half measures, Walt.
This guy.
I'll get you my Pueyos Hermanos
You know what?
later.
I'm actually kind of glad in hindsight because listening to this guy, like we could play some audio from him on Arizona radio today, but
we absolutely have to.
he just thinks that he's the S.
I
He
can't
thinks that's
believe-
all about him. He's the biggest star on the Diamondbacks, and I just wanted to hear him out and mock him to his face. But now, you know what? Now that he's kind of wussed out. I was gonna say the other word. He's wussing out from this interview. Screw you.
That's
a huge bitch.
Yeah, dude. Weird.
That one out of retirement.
Dude, not only did this guy, 831 says, not only did this guy blank the Giants, he blanked dirty work, blanked the blank out of him. 808 KNBR, the number to call into text.
Wait,
dude,
who's blank?
Yeah, dude, everybody. 408. My reaction to this dude is even more now that he's a bitch. Can't face the music. Yeah. Said yes, and then he got cold feet. Dave McCascal not joining us. Danny Emmerman at 3:50. Still a grab bag and a takes on the Sports Leader.
Copeland and Derek Papa in the KNBR Casino Matrix Progressive Jackpot Studios. Casino Matrix Progressive Jackpots are here. Where are you? Just drop in. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Unbelievable. Start to the show today. Adam Copeland, D-Pop, Tim Webb with you. Dirty work on a Tuesday afternoon. We're talking all about the game last night and what happened with the interference play in the outfield with Dave McCascal, who, as it turns out, has interfered with at least 9 to 10 different balls that have led to review.
But he's proud of it.
Over his time as being a season ticket holder for the last 6 or 7 years. He was very proud of it this morning on 98.7 AZ Sports, where he did an interview and was going to come on with us today at 3:15, and then at 3:12 sends an email to our guy, Mr. KNBR, and says, hey, something came up. I'm not able to come on with you guys.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
But I'm going to cancel on you.
I mean, very cordial.
Yeah.
Very cordial in him, saying that. But we were honest up front in saying, these guys that are hosting the show are not happy with
We're
your antics
fans of
last
what
night.
you did last night. We were gonna discuss that with him. Like he knew this wasn't gonna be some fluff piece for him, and so I called him soundly a little bitch. And then I said, I hope that the reason something came up was that the D-backs are having a conversation with him as it's their responsibility as an organization. And people are asking why we'd have him on. I said my hope was kind of that this would become so annoying to the D-backs that this is not the press.
Sounds like we did our job, guys.
Sounds like, and this is not confirmed yet, but it sounds like we become aware of some information that would tell you that Dave McCascal has had his tickets for tonight's game from the Arizona Diamondbacks revoked.
After 10 years of being a season ticket holder, it sounds like the Arizona Diamondbacks have taken his tickets away.
Yeah, as 408 says, you can't put the ass in McCascal. So, anyway, KNBR, looks like we've done our job, dirty work, the filth. And I know members of the...
That's us doing the dirty work,
hey,
everybody.
Man, if he's like, hopefully he's getting his tickets back, I got to get my home run balls. So I got to obey what the D-backs are telling me I got to do.
Yeah.
How about that? That? He was puffing his chest out thinking he did something cool. And then he goes on and does this can't be something the D-backs are happy about. This can't be the imagery or the media. Again, after what just happened where they're getting a fan banned for life, they've got a guy who now it's gone public, has interfered with baseballs for years to the point that stadium staff knows him. He's a veteran, apparently. He said 20 years retired military vet, and he's been honored on the field before games. He said he's talked to Alec Thomas, the left fielder, to where he knows him by name. And I think he thinks it's a cool thing. But I don't think it's as cool as he's making it out.
No, it's lame as hell.
I think they're all like, man, you're the guy who's interfering with balls. He said, yeah, one time Alec Thomas said, why do you keep doing that? Because you're interfering with the game, jackass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy claims to be a D-backs fan, too. I'm not so sure. I think he likes going to ball games.
He's a fan of himself, man.
Yeah, too. But, I've forgotten more about Rod Barajas and Miguel Montero and Tony Womack than this guy will ever know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When we had the takes and the idea was that if you interfered with a ball, you would be banned for life. We all agreed that there was a little bit of theater to this, and there was a little of like, okay, well, we're just saying, this is something completely different. And if the Diamondbacks want to be taken seriously about having threats to their players and whatnot, and everybody behind baseball got behind this, we got some breaking.
Hold on, we have more of an update now. We have more breaking news. So the story right now, hold on.
Mr. KNBR?
Hold on, lay this out. The story as it stands now is that Dave McCascal was supposed to come on with us at 3:15. He bails at 3:13. And then we find out that, because he tells us he's got something that's come up, and so he apologizes.
Oh, no.
He can't do the interview.
No. Jack Loader's not delivering this news.
Hold on. And then we find out, not confirmed yet, but we find out that it sounds like he may have had his tickets for tonight's game revoked. And he does have season tickets right beyond the wall. Now, Mr. KNBR, there's an update to all of this in real time?
Well, our guy Loader texted him and said, was it something we didn't promoting it? ? And he replied just now, no, I can make it happen if it's not too late. I think he's back on.
Get him. If he wants to do it, we'll get him. If he wants to do it, we'll do it in 5 minutes at 3:30. How's that? So now he wants to come back on? Something came up, I can't do it. Now I can do it. How do you feel about this?
I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. He's waffling now?
Sounds like you waffling.
I'm pretty firm on my takes now.
What do you think? Is it even worth it now?
No, I say no.
I got all up for it, and then I got down for it, and then I got pissed.
I'm going to say no. Once you bail one time, that's enough for me.
I'll go 2/3 vote on this. Tim, where do you come down on this?
Down on it.
You think we should do it, Tim?
You said that we got blown off by a nobody. I'm kind of over it. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm over it.
There's nothing that he's going to say to me that's going to be like, yeah, sure. Like, just
I'm over it.
He's a nobody. Can we just confirm that he got his tickets taken for tonight's game and anything else?
Let's ask him that.
I want Jack to say, "Hey, the guys think they can do it." Let's just F with him now. I want Jack to tell him, Jack, get your phone. I want Jack to ask him, "Hey, we heard you might have lost your tickets for tonight. The guys want to know." And if he says yes, then we just ghost him and we stop responding.
All right.
I want to get more info out of him, but I don't want to.
We're getting some feedback in the YouTube comments. The filth really wants him to go on air.
Really?
People are saying do it. 415 says doing it. 585 doing it. 415 says we want to hear. All right, get him on. Get his ass on.
All right.
Get
him on.
Dude, now you got chapped, pissed me, dude.
Now we're betting at the knee for this guy.
All right, no, we're not betting at the knee. We're letting him do it at our. And again, he goes the second we say go. The second we're done with him. The second I'm done with him, I toss him to the side.
I'm looking forward to Danny Ammerman at 350.
Danny Ammerman does join us at 350. All right, dude. This whole thing's been a saga bigger than we needed it to. To be. Many people checking in now. Yeah, many members of the Phil saying get him on.
Okay.
Get him on. You know what I can tell you? That this segment is sponsored by Redwood Credit Union. Whether you're dreaming of a new home, planning your children's future, or growing your business, Redwood Credit Union is a financial partner that feels like home. Learn more at redwoodcu.org, federally insured by the NCUA. 310 says, you kidding me? Now you have to get this guy on and ridicule him. Speed bag this fool's ass, says 650. 530 says, do it, rip him, be relentless, radio gold. Everybody stand by. We are getting the guy on, Dave McCascal.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
The bum from last night. He claims he's coming on. I think we're trying to get him via video, too. Is that right? Are we trying to send him a video link? Get him on via video?
This is getting shadier by the minute.
This whole thing. I mean, if he's on video, then we'll know it's the guy.
Okay,
then we're not getting played by in any capacity. Anyway, the punk ass from last night's game, who last segment I ended by calling a little bitch, joins us next. Dave McCascal on The Sports Leader.
Field going back on the ball. Tawa at the wall. He'll leap, and it is gone. Christian Koss. And the umpire's calling fan interference. Oh, they're calling the batter out? No way. Come on. Adrian Johnson is calling Koss out. So they're still looking at it in New York. The run is off the board. 3-2 is still officially the score. Diamondbacks leading the Giants, but in my opinion, that should be a home run.
That was the play last night that's been the point of contention, during last night's game and today. And the guy who interfered with the ball, Dave McCascal, D-backs fan, season ticket holder, joins us both on the Sports Leader video stream on YouTube and the Sports Leader app, twitch.tv, and all that good stuff. Dave McCascal joins us, and he's here on the UMA guest line. Hey, Dave, how are you, man?
Hey, Dave.
Doing well, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So we'd scheduled you about 15 minutes ago, and then you did duck out for a minute, and then you said you could do the hit with us. Is there any truth to the rumor that your tickets have been revoked for tonight's game?
Yeah, so that's true. I got an email saying, "Hey, don't come in. We're gonna see what's going on. I hope I'm not banned. That would be a bad thing."
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and then I got a couple texts. People were like, "Oh man, you had your chance to talk, and defend yourself." And so I'm like, "All right." So I called you back. I was kind of bummed about tonight's game because I wanted to see everyone and get everyone's opinion. And I know I was going to, catch some bad stuff, but lots of good comments out there too.
Well, Dave, let's be real. Do you think this is warranted with how many times it's been perceived that you have interfered with a baseball game?
So, again, I have been kicked out 3 times. However, the one time, and I don't know if you saw today's interview.
We did.
With Bickley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Joey Bart one, I actually didn't get kicked out. It was right on the line, and the chief security guard just had me move up to the second level. So hey, we're going to put you up here. We're not kicking you out. So really, it's only been twice. When you're on that front line, I mean, that ball's coming, 90, 100 miles an hour. And last year, I was saying I did not. I purposely let him 2 bounced off the top of the wall, and I really thought that one would have last night.
So you've caught, I think you said you caught 24 homers. I mean, you caught Gurriel's ball last night. I guess when I saw your interview earlier today, I think the thing that kind of miffs us as baseball fans and Giants fans is you say you're a D-backs fan, but you're competing in a game with some buddies who can catch more home run balls. Doesn't that?
No. It's more of like a fun thing. We're not going against each other. Like when one of us catches it, we give high fives and it's all good. It's just there's 3 of us out there that have been out there for about 6 to 8 years, and so we're all in that same section.
Well, you said 9 to 10 of them in your time sitting there have been reviewed. So I mean, you are interfering with the game, even though you say you haven't, right?
Well, anytime the ball comes over the yellow line, that's right at the yellow line.
Yeah.
It's going to get reviewed, right? It goes so a couple times, there was no question, it was right at the line. I reached up, I caught it, and I was safe, right? I mean, New York said I was safe.
So why are you diving across people to catch a ball? I mean, there's no way whether or not it's in fair. I know you say you were in control yesterday, but there's no way that. If you're diving across people laying out on your stomach, I mean, we all saw the ball was going to hit anyway. It'll get reviewed, but you're changing your aggressive nature in trying to catch the ball, and it's interfering with the game itself.
Right, and like I said, the ball was hit. I looked to my left. The fans were not moving, so I had a gap right there. Like I said, I feel like I'm a little bit athletic. I play a little ball in college, and I thought there was a shot right down the line. I thought I was safe, just reading the ball like an outfielder would. And yes, I mean, do you think I reached over?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't think the ball was necessarily gone, but I think you interfere with the play. And I don't think I think the point is, that we don't have good enough camera angles at that point in the war.
No, I mean, I definitely know that we don't.
Yeah.
Maybe if a playoff game, how they bring extra cameras in, so it'd be down the line. But.
Okay, so, I mean, you say you're a D-backs fan, right?
Yes, sir.
So explain to me the logic in trying to pull back a home run ball that would have tied the game for the opposition. Because if Tawa can make a play on it, I'm staying away from it as far as I can, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you're absolutely right. That's why my glove was above the line. I didn't go out. And you're exactly right. If the opposite way is happening, right? Like Tyler O'Neill with Christian Walker happened last year. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw when you're right above Walker, O'Neill there. A little too much there, I thought too, yeah.
Right. That one I just saved, or he would have caught that. But when he comes into our area, past their yellow line, we have the rights.
I don't think
I would never.
I don't think you have malintent. I don't think you have like a bad heart about it. I don't think you're quite at the level like Zach Hampel is, and I think he's kind of a punk ass. But I don't think you're quite there. Nor are you like the guys in New York in the World Series last year who were grabbing on Mookie Betts. That's all different. But do you think that if this were a bigger organization, if it were a more marquee franchise, that you would have gotten away with this for this long?
I mean, I don't know. I've never been warned. You know,
You've been ejected 3 times.
Well, twice.
Twice. I think you said 3 times and you didn't deserve one of them.
Dave.
Yeah. Well, one of them they didn't. They just took me to a different location because the security said, "Hey, it was so close. We're actually not going to kick you out."
Yeah, that's right. So they moved you to the upper deck. So what did they say this time when they said tonight don't come to the game? They said, "Hey, do us a favor, don't show up."
Yeah. So we're going to look at your actions, and so that's what I thought. When that was literally, I got that message probably 20 to 30 minutes before we were supposed to go on 30 minutes ago with you, right? So I was like, oh man, I'm bummed. You know, I'm like, am I going to get banned? You know, because like I love baseball, right? I'm retired. This is baseball and golf. You know, basically my 2 favorite things to do.
Okay, but Dave, let's say the Diamondbacks come back and say you are banned for life, and you're banned from every ballpark in America.
Or whatever, yeah.
What is your reaction?
Well, I'd be definitely devastated. I'd probably appeal it if there is an appeal it. You know. Yeah, it would definitely hurt. Like I said, I don't think that it's kind of tough to do a warning, and like you said, being on purpose, right? Malintent. So
yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think this is kind of like a thing that the D-backs have fostered with you, in that if you've interfered with 9 to 10 different times, there have been reviews on plays. To me, that's Arizona and their organization not looking after the sanctity of the game, right? I mean, baseball put in reviews for this reason. They put in outfield umpires in the postseason after Jeffrey Mayer for this reason. It's not quite the same as like Bartman situations, but if they're allowing it to happen at this point, part of that falls on them. And I think you coming on with us and maybe even going on in Arizona this morning has painted this in a way that they didn't want this to be looked at.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, I guess.
Well, we appreciate the time, Dave. Thanks so much, man. Best of luck to you. And, with all due respect, I hope we don't see you doing that again in the outfield.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate the call,
All
man.
right, Dave.
That's Dave McCascal, the guy who interfered with the game last night. Dude, I feel like he was kind of sad. I feel like there was a sadness to him. Well, after getting his tickets taken away, he got the slap on the hand.
You know, I think what happened is he didn't want to come on initially because, it's like, oh man, now I'm the bad guy. Now they took my tickets away from me. What am I going to do? But now he wants to have the sob story to come on with us, and I'm not buying it. So that sounded more sob story like to me. Somebody on the text line or the YouTube chat just says you can't take that little bitch comment that easily. I'm not going to. No,
he's blind to the impact he's had on the game. He's still saying, well, I was above the line. It's not above the wall you get the right to. It's beyond the wall. The player's still allowed to reach over the wall to make a play. You as a fan are not allowed to do that. And for him to say, well, I was never warned, you got tossed twice and they moved you once. You know what I mean?
But why do you need to be warned? Can't you see?
Why do you need to be warned?
Can't you see that last night the game was stopped because of you? Like, I'm sorry. I know we're getting our frustration out now that the guy's off the air, but like, I was going to ask him too, like, what's your goal when you go to a baseball game? To be the guy that's the center of attention, or watch the damn game?
I like, dude, to drop, like, I think I'm a pretty athletic dude. I'm like, I'm not fighting.
You're not playing baseball.
He said, I thought I looked like an outfielder on the display out to catch it. I was like, look like an outfielder.
You know what?
You're not. There's an outfielder there.
They took his tickets away. Good. And you know what? I know you differ with me on this one. He shouldn't be allowed at a baseball game ever again.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I disagree. I think that's a harsh punishment for something that
But he doesn't get it, though.
I agree that he doesn't get it, but he doesn't get it because his own home ballpark isn't doing anything to police his actions. So I think he's got, like, if you look at the 5 clips that were put out in a bunch together by like John Boy and the other clips we were looking at, the first one he catches, he's just kind of like behind the wall up on his chest. Second one, he kind of reaches out a little bit. Then he gets further and further. Last night, he full on belly dove across 4 people. Said he saw it coming, thought it was going to be gone. I'm like, you leapt across or tripped across people. He said, do we think it was gone? I don't know. The point is you interfered with the ball. So like, I think he's gotten more aggressive because he was never punished or wasn't punished enough, and simply getting tossed in moments where he's like, yeah, maybe I should get tossed for that, didn't teach him a lesson. So maybe this.
He had the deer in the headlight look where it was like, oh, the consequences are coming. Like, that was the feeling that I got there was.
He screwed up today.
This is not that big a deal, and I've done this before, and, me and my buddies are season ticket holders, and we're fine. And then it's starting to not be fine, and I think he's kind of getting that impression right now. That was what I had from it.
He did. He seemed pretty scared and sad.
I
told
agree
him
with
the
you,
reality of the situation. I'm like, I think they're to blame too. But then when I asked him, like, do you think it was a bad move, kind of, that this is making it bigger to come on with us and In Arizona, I think you kind of
100%.
realize, like, I
No,
don't know.
100%. I think that going on with Arizona radio and us today, it's a bad look for him. He's gloating about his accomplishments, interfering with a baseball game. I'm sorry, but, like, I have no sympathy for this guy. So you got your tickets revoked? Too bad. You interfered with too many games. And all the games, not all the games you've attended, but majority of them that we have on record, you are the center of attention because you're trying to do like a Simpsons yoink, like take the ball away. Let the game play out.
I don't even think he's trying. That's what I'm saying. He's trying to make sure that he's only doing it, he says, on home run balls. I just don't buy that that's the case.
I'm not buying anything, and I do not feel sorry for him.
415 says, will you please podcast, Dave, with the interviewer for the folks who might have missed it? Absolutely. That'll be up a little bit later. 808 KNBR, 415-808-5627 is the number to call. If you've got reaction to the fan interference call with our guy, Dave McCascal, who he told us has had his tickets revoked for tonight's game.
Yes.
He's hopeful he's not banned. I'm kind of hoping he is. Or here's my thing is if you're not going to ban him, if you're going to suspend him for a period of time, I don't think he should be allowed to have seats in that section. I don't think he should be allowed to have seats in fair territory if it's within the field of play, like up on the fence like that.
I agree.
I think he's got to have seats in the outfield or beyond the other parts of the fence. But to punish him in the same way for guys who have run on the field, not the same. When they've allowed him to keep those season tickets year after year, some of that has to fall on the team. I'm slapping the hand of the parent on that one.
Okay, look, I know we spent a lot of time on this. We had the guy on. But my opinion is last night he should not have done that. And I hope he never goes to a baseball game again. But what he did not determine the outcome of that game last night. I truly believe that.
Well, no, because who knows? If the ball goes over, then it's a 3-3 game. If he doesn't interfere at all, it might be a 3-3 game.
Who knows what the outcome was going to be?
But if it is a 3-3 game, then you can't butterfly effect it into Devers and Ramos because then it's bases empty tied game.
Exactly.
Like, we don't know what happens.
Bottom line
That's the point. Don't interfere.
The Giants are snake bit right now. They're dealing with things, they're dealing with their inability to hit, their injuries right now. So while we're angry at this guy, I do not think he determined the outcome of the game last night. But he still is a jackass.
Some people saying I should have gone harder on him. I'll confess, I was fired up to get him on, and then when he blew us off the first time, like 2 minutes before he was supposed to come on, then I got like upset and just kind of like whatever about it. Everybody said have him back on. I'm like, yeah, I guess we should just have him back on. But it kind of made me feel good that he was as sad as he was. You know what I mean? Made me feel good that he's been punished.
Well, we got confirmation he's not allowed back at the ballpark tonight, and we'll see if he's back for the rest of the series.
Yeah, 623 says there's no way to police that, Copes. Chase isn't like Oracle. It's not. There's no sellouts, plenty of seats. Yeah, it's a huge, huge ballpark. I've been there numerous times. 808 KNBR is the number to call. Can we take a call here?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we got a few calls on the line here. Danny Emmerman is going to join us in a few minutes. Let's get to Michael in Tiburon. What's up, Michael? You're on the Sports Leader.
Yeah, hi. I think the solution is bill him $1,000 for his interference.
How?
Thanks for the call, Michael. I don't understand what
Well,
you're saying. Fine him $1,000.
Who's going to fine him? The Arizona Diamondbacks and say, give us some money back?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, Michael. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Robert in Scotts Valley. What's up, Robert? You're on the Sports Leader.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. My first question is, how many of these interference calls were against opposing teams?
Just one last night.
If that's the case, well, we got that. But what about the other ones in question that we were asking about? Because if that's true and it's against opposing teams, then, it is on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They should have some kind of accountability for this. And, Copes, I agree with you 200% about get them the hell away from the line. Move them up. You want to keep those seats? Sorry, they're not available.
You can't buy
anymore.
these, yeah.
Let's get you 5 rows up.
Right. That's where I'm at. Like, I really don't think he's in the same class as those guys in New York last year. Or, people jump on the field running.
I agree.
But there has to be some accountability here.
Absolutely. To both, to the Diamondbacks and to him. But you know what? Look at the video again. The ball was falling right in front of a Giants fan. And what did she do? She backed up and let the play finish.
Yeah. She probably should have reached out and
caught it. That's what he should have done.
Probably should have pulled that thing back for us.
It would have bounced over.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my opinion,
Same.
but whatever.
Same.
We can't.
The point is we don't know, and we should know, Robert. That's kind of the point, right? We should get to know.
Right. Let it play. And, you claim you love baseball. Let the play finish. Who cares what team is going to benefit from it?
Did you hear him try to sweet talk us too, bringing up Joey Bart? He don't know how Joey Bart left the fan. He don't know how fans feel about Bart. If he thought that was going to be his lather for us.
bro, he lost me at I'm athletic.
Seriously.
Good for you.
Seriously.
Robert, what a joke. That was a joke, bro. I mean, dude, you should have seen the sadness in his face, Paul. Man, it felt good.
I'm
It felt good,
retired.
you know? Yeah.
I'm listening in my truck, man. I had to pull over to stop to listen to the whole thing. But
Much love, brother. Appreciate the call, Robert. We'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks so much.
By the way, we do have a lineup for tonight. Yaz will be leading off in right field, Ramos in left field, Devers at DH, Wilmer Flores at third base tonight.
Oh.
Dom Smith at first base, Willie Adames, Daniel Johnson, Patrick Bailey, Tyler Fitzgerald at second base. But yeah, Wilmer Flores will play third base tonight.
Wilmer Flores is starting at third base for the Giants tonight. So, I mean, again, the hot corner, it's the hurt corner is where they are now with Christian Koss going down with an injury in the hamstring. By the way, he said he didn't even want to report it at first because he's so hot and wants to stay in the lineup, and they don't have a whole lot of other bodies out there. I'd love to get a defensive note here for you before we get out to talk to Danny Emmerman on Wilmer Flores, the last time he played third base in a game. In his career, 262 games played at third base. The last time he appeared in a game at third base was last season. He played 14 innings there across 2 games. The last time he spent significant time at third in 2023, 131 innings and 22 total games at third base. And prior to that, it was 2022, where he played 34 games at third base, over 200 innings. But he's mostly been first and second, and not a big chunk for him at third base. He'll be over there today. So, Willie, bring the range. Scarecrow, Jim, Armando, Zach, Rishi, Jay, we will get to all these calls. We got to catch up with our guy.
Danny Emmerman's going to move back a little bit to 4:15, so we'll take your calls next.
Awesome. All you guys who I just mentioned, Scarecrow, Jim, Armando, Zach, Rishi, and Jay, we will get to your calls. Giants are going to not have to deal at least with the fans tonight. How about that? Or that one fan. Unless his buddies are going to be roaming around there looking for extra home run balls. 808 KNBR is the number to call and the number to text if you want to get involved. The Sports Leader YouTube channel. Shout out to Filth, who've been checking in all day long with some great stuff. We'll get to more of your thoughts and your calls on the interference next. Dave McCascal, what a bum, on the Sports Leader.
Adam Copeland and Derek Papa on KNBR 104.5 and 680 AM, the sports leader.
Dirty Work rolls on a Tuesday afternoon. Adam Copeland, D-Pop, Tim Webb with you. A lot of people saying fun segment. Glad we got the guy on. I'm just glad he's not going to be at the ballpark tonight. We found out from Dave McCascal, the bum who interfered with the ball last night in the game, that he had his tickets revoked by the D-backs today. By the way, how about breaking up with him via email? The sadness.
Hard.
Dude, and they just kind of left him in limbo because he was going to be out there. Said, I was really looking forward to being out there. I told him, I'm happy you won't be.
You know what? Maybe you shouldn't go on Arizona radio. Maybe you should come on with us.
Dude thought it was a victory lap.
So we also have some news. We also have some news about tonight's game.
We have breaking news on tonight's game because, as we told you before the break, Wilmer Flores starting at third base today.
Yes, and Christian Koss will go on the 10-day IL with a left hamstring strain, and Luis Matos is back. He's been recalled from AAA, and also from Alex Pavlovich. Wilmer Flores is playing third base tonight. Buster Posey also said Raffael Devers could be an option too now that they're down Chapman, Schmidt, and Koss.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I did wonder that. Like, at some point, if you're willing to go with Wilmer over there at third, you have to consider, Wilmer's been playing in the field in some capacity already this year at first base a little bit. Like, if you get this trimmed down to where you don't have enough infielders on the 40-man, then it becomes questionable, where you go, maybe we do have to put somebody over there. I thought that the more likely option would be putting Fitzgerald at third and then putting Wisely at second. But
yeah,
I don't love any of those options.
It is what it is right now.
I don't love the option of Wilmer at third, but keeps his bat in the lineup at least. You can put him and Devers and what's his name? Am I blanking on? Yeah, Dom Smith over at first base. Put all three of those guys in the lineup at one time. Let's go out to the phone lines at 808 KNBR. Scarecrow is in Sacramento. What's up, Scarecrow? You're on the sports leader.
I've kind of viewed this whole thing with the fascination somebody reserves for a three-car pileup.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. Sure. And I only saw it once, and it looked like he literally launched himself over there to get that ball.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody got hurt. Better yet, thank God a player didn't get hurt. This picture ought to be in every ballpark in the National League, and it should be impossible for him to buy a ticket. Also, since the Arizona Diamondbacks were negligent as all get out in even doing anything about it, they should get a major fine from MLB, because this is the player safety issue. This is a fan safety issue. And granted, he's going for Jackass of the Year, and he is well on his way to winning the award, I might add.
Yeah.
That's the very least that should be done to him.
Yeah, I'm with you, Scarecrow. Like, and I said it to him, I don't think he's a bad dude. I just think he's doing some dumb crap, and there's no place for it in baseball, specifically at that point where you're interfering with the game. I appreciate the call. I do think, I don't know if Major League Baseball would clamp down on the D-backs for this, because this to me looks like the D-backs running to do something about it.
They're saving their ass.
Once John Boy's like, hey, did you guys know this guy's been on again?
Yeah.
The funniest part is John Boy coming out with the video last night and this morning going, this guy's been reviewed like 4 other times since 2023. And then Dave McCascal goes on Arizona radio this morning and goes, no, bros, I've been reviewed like 10 different times. I've caught
it's a point of pride with me.
I've been ejected 3 times. Like he thought he was taking a victory.
He's a narcissist.
To the point where, and I won't put it out there, but he has a social media account where he posted a photo of him diving and making that catch last night. He's proud of it until he finds out that his tickets are revoked from tonight. So I can't imagine that it's just one game, but I also don't know how big of an announcement there will be made of it.
Probably not, but also I wouldn't be surprised if it's the remainder of the season. I mean, I'm with Scarecrow. I would go one further, just NL teams.
I would be devastated. McCaskill would be devastated.
Tough boobies. I would say that he should be banned from every ballpark in Major League ballpark in America. I'm sorry. I think this guy's a joke.
It's harsh. That's harsh.
It's just like realizing there's consequences. It's like, oh, right, you could have broke your dude's hand by trying to get that, not to mention other fans. And it's like, oh, you're doing high five with your buddies who are all 23, 24 home runs themselves. Now you're all over the internet, dude. It's not just us. We're just happen to be the team you were playing against. I bet you if it was anybody and John Boy got a hold of it, it's not specific to the Giants. It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
And those fan bases would be just as pissed as we are.
Could have been anybody.
In the words of Jeff Kent, enjoy the game more. Learn to be a fan again. Just watch the game from your couch and appreciate the game and not be part of it.
Yeah, 650 says the guy from last year had done it 4 years in a row. The guy from last year was on our show not 20 minutes ago and told us that he's been reviewed 9 or 10 different times. And I love that he does it like he's part of the crew. Yeah, New York said I was good.
And also, I'm athletic. I used to play baseball back in the day.
He tried to flex Joey Bart on us. He tried to drop that he played baseball back in the day, that he was retired, and he just plays golf and goes to baseball. He just loves baseball.
I also interviewed Johnny Drama back in the day.
And watched the baseball. This morning, he was bragging on 98.7 Sports in Arizona that he has over 1,200 autographs, and he was like turning his camera around to show you his full wall of baseballs. No wife. Didn't see a wife. Let's go back out to the phone lines. Jim is in Santa Rosa. What's up, Jim? You're on the Sports Leader.
Hey, how are you? It's Jeff from Santa Rosa. How are you?
What's up, Jeff?
What's up, Jeff?
That's all right. I've been
Shorto.
But, what this guy did, he is a narcissist, there's no doubt. He's obviously looking for fame. I would make him either move his seats and I would also, like you said, it's either you move your seats or don't come to our ballpark. I mean, you have to make a stand because he's going to hurt most likely a fan and most likely a little kid who's not going to see this big beluga, in their way because he's going to push anybody, he's going to push anybody out of the way to get a ball because he's a narcissist.
Yeah.
100%.
I just think it's bad for the game. It really is. And my wife pulled it up because we call her Google Sandy. This guy has done it 4 times that she saw on the internet, and each time it was against an opposing team. So sooner or later, like I said, he's going to hurt somebody or he's going to change the course of a game like he did to us and wait till it's a playoff game, and then it's the caca's really going to hit the fan. So
Appreciate
I think the guy's a jerk and should be banned.
I appreciate the call, Jeff. Yeah, he's done it numerous times. And when we looked up on those 4 videos or 5 videos that are out there, every time he's doing it in support of Arizona home runs.
Yeah.
The funnier thing to me is that that's why I said you claim to be a D-backs fan. He said yes. And I said, well, then explain to me the logic in laying out to catch a home run ball.
It wasn't a good explanation.
It wasn't a good explanation. He didn't have one. He doesn't really have a good explanation for any of it. And the fact that the ushers know him and security knows him and they've just moved him away instead of ejecting him means they've condoned this sort of action because, He's just a retired regular dude who's hanging out at the ballpark.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very hard for Arizona to allow him at the ballpark for the remainder of the season.
I mean, you've made them culpable by saying, oh, they're my guys. They were slapping me on the back. They're basically what he says, and maybe we'll play some of that from later from his interview this morning. What you're saying is they're turning a blind eye to this. And at a certain point, I mean, what's the threshold?
I'm still not down with the ban from every ballpark in baseball. I don't think this fits that mold. I just think that there needs to be a punishment now from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I think the max punishment should be he's not allowed to have those seats anymore. I really do think if he's a season ticket holder and has been, you go, well, look, we love having you. We don't love this press that you're giving us. You can't interfere with games. You go second deck or you go out of play, behind a net somewhere in foul territory.
Yeah.
If you love baseball that much, you'd accept that. If he doesn't, then you didn't care that much about the game itself. You were caring about the home runs. It's kind of where it comes down. Let's go to Armando. Armando's in Fair Oaks. Armando, you're on the Sports Leader.
How you doing, guys? I've got to tell you, first when this new program, when you guys came on, I was kind of doubtful, but you're starting to grow on me.
Much love, Armando.
There you go, Armando.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you're growing to me like a fungus, but that's
Yeah, that's what the filth does, bro.
I've been
That's
told
the
I'm
dirty
kind of like a
word for it.
fungus, yeah.
Right.
Well, I tell you, what we need to do, this guy, I tell you what, I turn you guys on at 7 o'clock in the morning and listen to you till 4 o'clock, and then I go to my news because that's what I do because I am retired. But I tell you what, he should be banned this whole season, and then he gets new seats. But I tell you what, this is what we have to do. He has to either wear electronic collar
Okay.
or a leash.
Yeah.
Okay.
5-foot perimeter. He gets near that wall, he either zaps or he's like Wile E. Coyote and he just gets choked.
Yeah. I got a third option. We do one of those prisons like the movie Face Off. Like remember the magnetic prison they're in where all their feet are like strapped to the ground.
Great
I kind of
call.
like that,
There
dude.
you go.
You know, like that. We make like a mini magnetic like Face Off
Or
prison.
electric fence.
Yeah.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Give him a 5-year-old pitcher's mitt for a 12-year-old could have cut all this. I used to play baseball. A 12-year-old could have cut all this. Come on.
That really. Boy, was he wrong about trying to use Joey Bart to sweeten us up too, thinking that was gonna get us on a. You know, Joey Bart liked it. Like I don't think he did. Thanks for the call, Armando, and thanks for giving us a shot, man. Appreciate you, dude.
I was a star in high school.
That had Uncle Rico.
Dude, I was literally about to say that. Like, this guy's clinging to the past. You're there to watch current baseball players.
Oh,
Jesus.
man. What a dork. What a
Tim,
dork.
Jesus.
Ah,
Yeah,
Jesus. 808 KNBR is the number to call and the number to text. People still checking in on the Golden State Lumber and Showroom text line. 650 says, hey, at least he didn't call Copes black mold.
What?
Jesus. What? From the 650. The guy says we're growing on him like a fungus. And he said, at least he didn't call Copes black mold. That's a hell of a line from the 650.
All right.
Yeah, my spirit animal's a barnacle.
That's somebody who spent some time in some not so clean places. 415 checks in, says, if you love the game of baseball, you don't interfere with the ball, the players, or the integrity of the game. 559 says the conclusive evidence is the fielder's arm. He fell forward, so it looked like he reached over. And then 559 says, bitch, I can throw a football over them mountains.
Yep.
He says, let that guy flex his nuts elsewhere. Let's go back out to the phone lines here at 808 KNBR. Zach's in Concord. What's up, Zach? You're on the Sports Leader.
Guys, this guy's so full of himself. Let's address the I'm athletic and I played a little bit in college comment real quick.
Yeah, that's good.
Did y'all see the John Boy breakdown? There's a part of the video where he's throwing the Bart home run ball back.
Yeah.
And it barely makes it past track. That guy should be banned on that throw alone. Come on, man. Get him out of here. I'm done with this guy. He got to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a bum.
I'm with you, Zach.
Appreciate the call, Zach. Thanks so much, man. Let's go to Rishi. Rishi's in Campbell. Rishi apparently told Jordo, the Dirty Work's youngest little sister, I have to speak to Copes immediately. I made him wait 18 minutes. Rishi,
Hopefully she got his name right.
You're on the Sports Leader. What's up, brother?
Yeah, Coach, I had to speak with you immediately. I've had it up to my wits with this guy, Dave McCascal, man.
Yeah.
I think he's full of S. I think he's lying. I saw him jump over the field last night and interfere with the game.
Yep.
I think he's bad for the sport. He's messing with fans' money because people are gambling on the game. I was on the money line last night as well as a lot of my friends. He's messing with the win total for the season. So, as they say, you mess with my money, Copes, you're messing with my emotions.
Yep.
And I don't like that. And I also don't. I think he's lost all his San Francisco privileges. So when he's gone, he better stay gone.
There you
He's gonna
go.
Be gone.
There you go.
That guy Dave, I want him done. Don't come back on the airwaves. You're done.
Rack him, dude. Rack him. Rishi, nice call, brother.
Going Pulp
Appreciate
Fiction
that.
Marcellus Wiley there.
I like that, dude. I like that. Could have gagballed McCascal, dude. That's what he wants to do. He's put him
Or
in the back
Wallace.
to,
Wallace.
Marcellus
Yeah.
Wallace.
Yeah.
You said Marcellus Wiley?
From back in the day
I just
on
let
ESPN.
I just let it go too, dude. I was like, dude, I don't think Marcellus Wiley plays Marcellus Wallace.
No, not quite. That was Ving Rhames, who's also in the Arby's commercials.
Also in the Arby's.
We have the beef.
Oh, I like that call, dude. I like that call from Rishi. He said, I get Copes. I got to talk to you immediately. I've had it to my wits' end with this guy, McCascal. Everybody, good news. McCascal joined us, told us there was truth to the rumor. The D-backs emailed him, broke up with him via email, told him he couldn't come to the game tonight. By the way, he initially tried to bail on us because he said he got that email. And he tried to bail on
And he came
coming on with
crawling
us
back for sympathy.
because he said his friends told him, hey, it's your chance to voice your side of the story.
Not on this show.
Dude, do you think he came on thinking, nice, well, at least if I got banned tonight, I got a chance to walk back some of my comments from this morning?
I think so.
You think he saw this as already
dude,
this was his apology tour hours after his initial?
I think initially he was like, okay, I got my tickets revoked. Damn. Okay, I don't want to make it any worse. And then people are like, no. Tell your side of the story. To play the sympathy card. Not going to happen on this radio station. We're talking to Giants fans. No.
I don't think he knew I called him a little bitch like minutes before he came on.
If he knew that, he probably would have not have come on.
Well, we also did. We asked him some questions. This wasn't no fluff piece, dude. This wasn't a soft landing spot for him. I mean, we didn't want to. I don't give him an opportunity for anything. We got breaking news now. More on McCascal.
Yeah, per SF Gate, the Arizona Diamondbacks say they have banned Dave McCascal, the fan who interfered with a potential homer last night, for the rest of the season.
There you go. There you go.
Give it up. That's breaking news. Dude, I love that we got to play. This is much like the day where we got to our guy Mike, who peed himself with
Oh yeah, that
on
guy.
that day, dude. We got
Stacey.
to. It was Stacy. The whole saga played out over the show. This one got wrapped up a little early. McCascal agreed to come on with us. Said he wouldn't come on with us then. We got very upset. Then he does come on with us. Tells us he was banned from the game tonight. And McCascal, should we get him back on? Should we call him again for a comment? The SFG reporting Dave McCascal, who told us he was not allowed to go to the game tonight, the Arizona Diamondbacks have banned him for the remainder of the season.
At least Dave didn't call out my wardrobe, though. That guy Mike who peed his pants called out my wardrobe.
Could Dave see us, by the way, while he was talking to us on video? I didn't think so because we were kind of like,
dude, when he said the line of, I'm pretty athletic, my hands went up in the air like this guy.
This guy's a punk ass.
This
dude.
guy.
All right, so there you go, Giants fans and members of the filth. Hey, good work.
He gone.
Hey, we accomplished something today. I like this. You know
That's
what I mean?
us.
When you have a
we did this.
When you have a platform, you use it.
Or you lose it.
Dude, dirty work. The greatest show in America got Dave McCascal banned by the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think I'm
we got
riding
an interview
with it.
out of him.
I think I'm riding with it. Isn't everybody else? It's got to be our doing today that this happened.
I think it was also his doing.
We applied the pressure.
Yeah, but I think also like he led the foundation by going on Arizona radio and making it worse on himself.
Then we handed him the shovel and we let him go.
Yep, exactly.
All I know is he
Once
wasn't
he
banned.
started saying that he was like buds with the guys who were just letting it go,
man.
and now you've indicted the organization.
He was expecting us to give him the life raft, and we're like, no, you're going to drown a little bit more.
I was like, no, dude. You viewed this whole thing the wrong way. The entire scenario, from robbing the home runs to coming on with us, your lens on all of this thing was completely misguided. So was your logic in trying to take a home run for the visiting team. Like, you're not no D-backs fan. I'm not even of the belief. I don't think he's devastated. I think his ego's hurt.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I'll be devastated if there's any ban.
People aren't going to D-backs games for me anymore? Oh, man.
I think his ego's hurt is what it is.
I've counted no less than 7 of these. The people saying, well, that's the dirty work.
That's the dirty work.
That's a shame.
That's what happens.
Yep.
Bummer, bro. Paul's in Walnut Creek. What's up, Paul? You're on the Sports Leader. Line 1, Tim.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Pretty good. What's up, Paul?
I agree with D-Pop. I think he should be banned from every freaking stadium. I mean, the guy's coming to the game with the wrong goal, right? It's to play a stupid game with his friends versus come to watch the best athletes in the world compete. I mean, you got to have enough self-awareness. I think kick him out of every stadium.
With you, dude. With you 100%.
Appreciate the call, brother. Thanks so much, man. As people are still filling in on the phone lines here, if you're just joining us, Dave McCascal, the bum who interfered with the ball last night, D-backs have officially banned him for the remainder of the season. When he talked to us just about 40 minutes ago or so at 2:30, he told us he was not allowed to go to the game tonight. They'd emailed him, and that was probably their temporary find.
Mm-hmm.
And then, sure enough, he's banned for the season. Arizona's not allowing him to come back to the ballpark. We asked him, or Derek asked him, if there was some sort of banishment or penalty,
he would appeal.
How would you feel? He said, first of all, he said, I'll be devastated and I'll appeal if there's any kind of appeal. I was like, in my mind, I thought, I don't think there's an appeal for
We
that,
have
brother.
video evidence,
I don't
man.
think there's an appeal process, dude.
Not for you.
Oh, man. That's what I mean. Is this guy's so misguided. How did he get
Yeah.
to retire so early? You know what I mean? Guy's doing fine.
He's too damn good at catching baseballs, man.
Dude, I guess he's going to cap his season.
And he's athletic. Did you hear him?
Yeah, I did hear him. He's athletic. Played a little bit in college.
Yeah. By the way, Wilmer Flores playing third base tonight. Bob Melvin got a contract extension. Christian Koss on the 10-day IL. You know, other stuff that's
Dude,
actually going on with the Giants right now.
All the news that's going on with the Giants, yeah. Bob, by the way, we've only talked to McCascal because we're on dirty work because it's kind of what we do here. You know what I mean? We're trying to put on a good show here. But the news of the day, Bob Melvin, extension picked up, or his option picked up for 2026. Christian Koss goes on the injured list. Wilmer Flores is going to start at third base tonight. Only played 2 games there last year and a handful the year before. Recalled is Luis Matos. Love calling up Matos just to sit him back on the bench. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I know.
I think you got to call somebody up, but come on, man.
Maybe this is Jung Hoo Lee taking a couple of days off.
Well, not tonight. He's not.
No, he's not.
Not tonight. He's not. He'll be in there.
So we got full lines right now, but let's get to our guy, Danny Emmerman, because let's talk a little Warriors, but also we could talk a little Devers with him as well. So everybody stay on the line.
John, Adam, Howard, and Lena are hanging on the line from Sacramento. I want to get to them, too. Duffy and Jared. Hey, we got that guy banned. How about that? We're taking credit for it on Dirty Work. McCascal out for the remainder of the season.
And we know that Danny catches Giants games. We'll get his opinion on him from last night.
We'll talk to Danny Emmerman, our guy from the SF Standard, who joins us next, covers the Golden State Warriors. And then we'll get to more of your calls before Giants pregame coming up at, 5:40 tonight for a 6:40 first pitch. And by the way, for the filth who've enjoyed it to this point, we still have in this show an NBA grab bag.
Oh, we do.
A Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia with a very special announcement, apparently. I'll be the judge of whether or not it's special. And we'll talk more McCascal and your calls.
I'm excited.
Emmerman next. It's a Tuesday, our favorite day of the week on the Sports Leader.
on KNBR 104.5 and 680 AM, the sports leader.
Dirty work on a Tuesday afternoon. Adam Copeland, D-Pop, Tim Webb with you. Hell of a show today. Talking to Dave McCascal, the bum from the Arizona fan base.
It's about to get better.
Who just got banned for the rest of the season. Giants baseball tonight against the D-backs. By the way, we're all stoked about this. It's like the biggest Giants win in weeks, it feels like. He's never showed up.
Small miracles.
The McCascal's banned for the season. Let's switch gears here a little bit, talk some Warrior basketball with our guy Danny Emmerman, noted Bostonian himself and a former beat writer for the Giants. Now covers the Warriors for the SF Standard. What's up, Danny? How are you, bro?
What up, Danny?
What's going on, guys? I'm glad the Diamondbacks fan called you back. That was nice of him.
Well, dude,
like kind of a hurt, though.
Yeah, did you hear him on with us?
I did. Yeah, I caught some of it.
You know what it seemed like is because immediately after he declined, or he first said he would come on before the show today at 1 o'clock or something. And so when we're going to have him on about 3:15, at 3:12, he then says, "Hey, I can't come on. Something came up." I think I said, I hope that the something that came up is the D-backs upset with him for what happened. We're telling him he can't attend a game anymore. He did confirm that when he came on, and he ultimately, I think, came on to try to, I think he was trying to save face because he had just found out that they told him he couldn't come tonight. I think he thought this was an opportunity per his buddies saying, no, it's a chance for you to tell your side of the story. I wasn't going to happen. There was no side of the story that we were going to be content with.
Yeah, what was funny about it was he was saying how he's never been warned about his behavior or anything before, but he keeps getting kicked out of games.
I was like, you've been ejected 3 times. And he goes, well, twice. They just moved me another time, which is a warning. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but Danny, did you also catch that he's super athletic?
Yeah, he played a little ball.
Danny Everman, the voice you hear. I mean, and we'll get into some Warrior stuff, but you covered baseball for a long time, man. It was funny because I thought this guy, McCascal, I thought he was totally blind to how everybody else viewed this situation because he pointed out that Alec Thomas recognized him and called him by name. Because, Joey tried to ham up to us with Joey Bart, which I thought was the wrong player to do that with. Kind of made me laugh. But he said, yeah, Joey Bart called me the home run thief, and we had a laugh about it. I'm like, I don't think players think it's all that funny. In your time covering the Giants, did you ever talk to players about fan interference and that sort of stuff in the outfield?
Not specifically that I can recall. It's usually not too big of an issue.
Yeah.
At Oracle. I think there's an incident with the Padres in left field once, maybe Jerickson Profar. Do you guys remember that?
I kind of remember that.
A little bit, yeah.
I do remember that where he runs up to the side, the side of the field there, and fans interfered with something there, but he was more reaching into the stands, wasn't he?
Yeah, I just think there's a brand of baseball fan that is so obsessed with the home run ball, the foul ball. I'm so out on that, and whatever makes people happy, but I just think that quality and obsession over getting the ball can definitely distract from the game and kind of take you out of it. Why couldn't this guy just sit up top and enjoy the game if he's such a big baseball fan?
Exactly.
I don't know. I can't police fan behavior and tell everybody how to watch the game, but yeah, I mean, people diving over kids and taking balls from stuff like Zach Hampel.
Exactly.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
Zero chance this guy knows who Arubio Durazo is. You know what I mean? Or can name the rotation of the 2001 D. He even said he's a more recent D-backs fan. I think so. I'm not even buying the fandom. I think this guy's all about him. All right, let's get into some Warrior stuff, dude. I mean, it's not been exciting a couple of days. I mean, really, in terms of all of free agency, it hasn't been all that exciting. Where are you right now with the Jonathan Kuminga situation? Do you feel more like he's coming back, or like there are going to be offers out there on the table?
I feel more like it's going to drag out a little bit. I think both sides are a little bit dug in right now in their stances. And I think from the Kuminga perspective, he's kind of waiting for something to shake free for him and for someone to step up and give him an offer sheet that he'd be willing to sign. And in a way, the Warriors are okay with that. They might call his bluff a little bit, see what that number comes in at. It just doesn't seem like there's that big of a market for him. The way the market has played out otherwise outside of Kuminga, players of his play style haven't really been getting paid. You've seen guys like Jabari Smith take, kind of a market value deal. And he's not at all the same player as Kuminga. He's kind of like an inverse in terms of being able to embrace a role and be a shooter and defend and, kind of be more of a plug and play. Meanwhile, Kuminga might be more of a, hey, we're going to take you on and kind of make you the focal point. So I don't think this market has been great for him, but a lot can change. A team can strike out on their plan A and maybe pivot to him. But we'll see. I think right now it's at a bit of a standstill from what I understand.
Talking to Danny Emmerman on the Uma guest line. So, Danny, is this whole Kuminga situation kind of holding them up where they can make other moves? Like we've been hearing about Al Horford, and we saw Kevon Looney leave yesterday. I don't know if it was in the cards that he was going to return. GP2 is a free agent right now. Is the Jonathan Kuminga situation kind of holding up Mike Dunleavy Jr. and what they could do this offseason?
It definitely ties them up a little bit, and that's one of the reasons why Mike Dunleavy was saying before free agency started that it would be huge to get a deal done early to resolve that situation with Kuminga sooner rather than later. He wasn't just saying that to say it. It would definitely be helpful if they had more clarity on Kuminga and his future. That doesn't mean that they can't make deals right now. It just makes it a little bit more complicated. Horford's a name that has been out there. I think he'd be a good fit for the Warriors. There are a couple other center options still available, but the longer you wait, the more you risk that these guys come off the board and sign with other teams because a lot of these options are going to have multiple suitors.
Talking to Danny Emmerman, SF Standard, nice enough to join us on the Uma guest line. Just sort of something that happened. It's always funny when we talk trades or like the Warriors should acquire this player. You see it in other sports too, and then you see when a certain player is acquired or traded, what the compensation was. Like Cam Johnson is a name that was mentioned or people thought would be a good fit for the Warriors in the last couple of years. He gets traded from Brooklyn to Denver for Michael Porter Jr. and hilariously, in my mind, a 2032 unprotected first-round pick. That kid's in sixth grade or something right now. If you have a kid this year, they'll be in second grade when that selection is made. Did the Warriors have the ability to make a trade like that? I mean, 2032 is a ways out, but do they have the player or the compensation to get a trade like that done?
It would have been tricky. They had talked about Cam Johnson in the past. That name has come up. I think there are competing factions within the organization that value him a little bit differently. And that's okay. That's pretty standard for when you're talking about a player and throwing names out. But no, I mean, the Warriors have all of their future first-round picks, and that's the kind of ammo that you need to have to get a deal like that done. So to say that it would have been impossible to strike a deal for Cam Johnson, I don't think that's true. But to have, more of a proven player like Michael Porter Jr., who's on a big contract, if you were trying to get Cam Johnson, you'd probably have to use Kuminga, and then you'd be talking about a sign and trade. The whole base-year compensation rule, that complicates things. So, no, it wouldn't have been impossible, but I don't think right now would have been the easiest, path to getting a deal like that done.
Kevon Looney left the organization yesterday for the first time in 9 seasons, and now we're hearing the Warriors being linked to Al Horford. So just your thoughts on Kevon Looney leaving the organization and what he's meant to the franchise, and what do you think about a 39-year-old Al Horford potentially joining the Warriors along with a 35 or 35-plus Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green?
My first reaction to Kevon Looney leaving was kind of like, what are the Pelicans doing? And that's kind of been one of my reactions for the past couple of weeks, going back to the Jordan Poole trade, going back to their draft night trade, which was absurd and has really been a stunner in league circles that they gave up their unprotected pick next year to move up 10 spots for Derek Queen. Yeah, I mean, New Orleans has like 4 or 5 centers now with Zion, Yves Missi, Loon, they've got, who else? Herb Jones. They've played at like small ball 5. It's crazy what they're doing over there. And, Looney had an incredible career. I think back to, early in his career with the Warriors, all the hip surgeries and hip injuries he had. The fact that the Warriors stuck with him and were able to develop him and help him, become the player that he was, which was an absolute consummate pro, a championship contributor, beast on the boards, excellent team defender. He's had a 10-year career, and I don't think anybody could have imagined that happening based on, how his career began.
Dan Ammerman, the voice you hear on the Uma guest line, covers the Warriors for the SF Standard. I guess we'll be in touch if anything happens. We're just kind of waiting for this Kuminga news to drop officially. What you got, Derek?
Well, just real quick, Danny, I mean, what would you think about the potential of them signing an Al Horford? Do you think he fits with what they want to do? And I think that he'd be great, a good stretch five, but at the same time, just the age kind of concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, I like the fit a lot in terms of his three-point shooting, his defense, a front line of Butler, Draymond. Al Horford would just be really, really smart and savvy defensively.
Yeah.
But what you have to, factor in is Al Horford's 39. And even last year, the Celtics did a really nice job of pacing him through the regular season. They'd kind of play him one night on, one night off, get him breathers. At this point in his career, he's really more of a 15, 20-minute per night guy. And even that, he's probably not a 4-game-a-week guy either. So when you think about the Warriors and how old of a roster they have, how much they're going to have to manage minutes throughout the year, I think it's a fair, concern to add another guy who you're going to have to manage through the regular season. And listen, that's one of the most appealing parts about possibly bringing Jonathan Kuminga back is you're going to have nights when Jimmy Butler's unavailable and Steph Curry is resting and, you're going to need a scoring punch. They don't have much, scoring options that are under the age of 25 on the roster if Kuminga doesn't return. So, yeah, Al Horford, I do like the fit. It comes with a lot of caveats in terms of his availability. And, yeah, I mean, him being able to not probably play all the time, it's certainly a factor that you should consider.
Danny Ammerman, the voice you hear, covers the Warriors for the SF Standard. Danny, thanks for the time, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Danny.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, man. The great Danny Ammerman, our former coworker here at the Sports Leader.
That was good perspective from Danny on our guy, who was his name? I forgot his name right now. Dave McCascal.
Yeah.
Just about how, when he's covering baseball, you see fans like this all the time, but you want to cover the game. You ever seen the movie Almost Famous?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Philip Seymour Hoffman has a great line in that movie where I forget what his role is, but I think he was a former rock and roll journalist.
Yeah, right.
And he's trying to give advice to the young guy that's covering the rock band. At one point, he just goes crazy and goes, "You are not cool. You're not cool. You think you're cool because you're hanging out with the band, but you're not cool."
Yeah.
That's what I think Dave McCascal is. And basically anybody that thinks that when they hang out with athletes, that they're part of the club, that they are just like them, you're not. You're not cool. You are just a pain in the ass that interfered with a baseball game last night. That's all
band.
you are.
Yeah, that's all you are. Many people still, text line's still flooding with people checking in on our guy Dave McCascal, who joined us earlier today. The sort of jackhole, Murph called him a douche. I called him a little bitch earlier when he was going to come on and then didn't come on. And then did come on, and I'm still going to stand by because I think he just came on to try to save face. Because he came on, he first declined to come on. He said he would, then he said he wouldn't. Something came up. And what had come up was the Arizona Diamondbacks had contacted him and told him he could not go to the game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So then he came on and he did admit to us, yes, that was true. They told him he couldn't go to the game. And he said his buddies were telling him, hey, that's like an opportunity to get your side of the story out there. So I think he was trying to save face on what happened this morning when he did his hit in Arizona. Shortly after leaving the airwaves with us, we find out per SF Gate and a couple other sources that he's officially been banned by the Arizona Diamondbacks for the remainder of the season. Somebody checked in. I can't find the texter here. Somebody said, hey, at least he still got his golf because he told us all about himself. Yeah, I'm retired. I love baseball and playing golf. Well, he still got golf.
You got plenty of time to do that, buddy.
Yeah, many people checking in here on the Golden State Lumber and Showroom text line. Yeah, it's 408. Well, at least he still got golf. 415 checks in and says we should make McCaskill start a third for the Giants and really humiliate him.
Yeah, but then you know what? Then it goes against your team, and then do you really want that?
Yeah, there we go. 623 says, hey, Dave McCaskill, if you need it, it gets easier. Every day it gets easier. Just got to do it every day. That's the dirty work. But it does get easier. You're the best. 623. 707 checks in says, by the way, who are those callers with that guy who said he was on the SF money line? That was our dude, Rishi.
Yeah, exactly.
He said Giants are in auto fade right now. I'm hammering AZ tonight in terms of the money line. And 707 says season ticket terms and conditions saying if you interfere with ticket holders' passes can be revoked. 707 says, hey, Crook always says bring a glove, get a ball. I guess in Arizona, you bring a glove, you get a ball and a suspension. Banned for the season.
Hey, man, enjoy that 115-degree weather outside.
Can't believe it. We did it. We got it done. With Dirty Work got McCascal banned.
I think he did to himself, too.
I think we're gonna hang our hats on it.
I know you will.
I know. Why not? Why don't we? Why don't we? Greatest show in America. Don't. You had a great line earlier where he blew us off. You said we've been blown off by somebodies before. We've never been blown off by nobodies.
That's my favorite Derek line so far. We got blown up by a nobody.
And he dropped
a little pompous.
And he dropped the tough boobies earlier, too.
Well, I couldn't say what I really wanted
Which
to
I
say.
thought was pretty funny. John in Oakland, Jared in Orangevale, and then Howard and Roe in Sacramento.
A couple.
I thought it was Howard and Lynn earlier.
She changed her name.
Howard dropped Lynn.
I
Now he's
talked
got
to her.
Roe?
I talked to her in the break. She wanted to change her name.
Jordo's hit rate hasn't been great today.
Yeah, Jordan's hit rate is about what the Giants are at right now. 6:40 first pitch, 5:40 pregame. Hayden Birdsong. It's Birdsong tonight, right? Against Zach Gallen.
I believe it is.
In the midst of one of the worst seasons of his career. Zach Gallen 5-9 with a 5.75 ERA. We'll get to more of your calls. A bunch of you guys have been waiting on the line. We will get to John, Jared, Howard, and Roe next. Dirty Work, greatest show in America. Grab bag around the corner as well on the Sports Leader. the interview with Danny Emmerman, Tim and a couple of our engineering guys, Barista, Andrew Stern, and our guy Josh, behind the scenes go, hey, we may have to evacuate. The fire alarm's going off on the first level, and they've already evacuated the entire first level. Now, we're on level 3, right? Is that
Yes.
what floor we're on? Yeah.
Yes,
we're on
we are.
floor
The
3.
whole first floor was congregated on the field out here as you were doing your interview with Danny Emmerman.
Oh, you could see them outside?
Yeah, they were waving.
I said to them behind the scenes, I was like to Tim, I was like, I ain't leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not blanking leaving.
In all my time of doing radio, there's been times where the program director and other people have come by and be like, there's a fire extinguisher, or there's a fire evacuation going on right now. We need everybody to leave. And you're like, okay, so what's the backup plan? What do we do right now as far as on the air? And then everybody's like, oh, we don't know. No idea.
No, I ain't leaving.
Yeah.
We had a show to do.
Going down with the ship?
People I listen to. So I said, I'll go down with the ship like that captain in Titanic when he realizes there's not
All right,
enough boats.
boys.
Yeah, we'll be on the deck, me and you playing the violin.
Yeah.
Get the cello.
Yeah, Tim's like, we're staying with you, man. We're staying with you.
Yeah, the orchestra. I mean, like, they're like, boys, I don't want to be anywhere but with you right now, dying on this boat.
Yeah, I want to die on this boat with you until it goes vertically into the water.
Yeah,
You know,
seriously.
like, Tim would be like that dude from the White Star Line, the guy who like owns the ship line, and he evacuates before he's supposed to.
Oh, thanks.
With the
I
women
appreciate
and Tim's
that.
out there with the women and children getting off the boat as quick as he can.
I've been the last person in the building quite a few times, actually, where it's like, well, if this thing goes down, it's been fun.
Well, you lose another fantasy football semifinal, you might be the only person in the building for a whole night.
As long as I got my air mattress.
No, we're okay. No fire and nothing going down.
But I do love that song.
Yeah, it's good.
Fire.
Let's get out to the phone lines. People have been waiting through our Emmerman interview. Let's go to John. John's in Oakland. John's been waiting specifically just to talk Raffael Devers, who 4 strikeouts last night, 0 for 4. Giants are 4-9 in the 13 games since he was acquired. John is in Oakland. You're on the Sports Leader.
John.
Yes, last night's game, that was terrible. I think the guy should have got a more of a punishment, but it's kind of we have a lot of nuts in this country right now. If you assume that they called that ball a home run, that doesn't mean the Giants win the game.
Right.
I mean, it's just another one of those excuses we're making. Now, Devers, he's come out here and he said he'll play anywhere we need him to play. Well, then he needs to get on third base until Chapman comes back. They said he was going to become a first baseman. How long and how many ground balls do you have to take at first to start playing there? I think Devers needs to be in the ball game on the field so he isn't sitting there in the dugout saying, I just struck out, now I got to wait 2 innings to go up and do it again. I think he needs to be on the field. He said he'd play anywhere they want. I don't know what we're waiting for.
Well, John, before the game today, Buster Posey did tell the media that if they need Raffael Devers at third base, he will play third base. So that is the latest. But I hear you. Eventually, he does need to play first base.
Well, wait a minute. Now, you're saying he would play third base. So what does that mean? Flores goes to first?
We don't know that scenario. As far as tonight, Wilmer Flores will play third base.
I think they're just saying in like based on the situation now with 3 guys who play third injured, they are open to the idea and are willing to put him at third if they have to.
Well, I think it'd be a good idea because I think the guy needs to be on the field.
Yeah.
You know, there's some days you go on the field and you make a good play, and that's good. You know, it's not sitting in the dugout waiting 2 innings for an at bat and wondering, you know, just through your head what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny wants to be. I mean, he didn't want to be a DH to begin with. He wants to be on the field. So I think as soon as they feel comfortable getting him up to speed at first, he'll be at first. But maybe out of necessity, he'll be at third soon.
How long does it take a third baseman making $50 million a year to learn how to catch balls at first base?
I don't know, but he's not the one determining when he plays. They're determining when he plays based on when they're comfortable with him doing it. He's never played first base before in a major league game. I mean, it's different angles that throws down to second base. He's a right-handed thrower and a left-handed bat, so it's getting inside of a runner there. It's PFP plays. He told the Boston Red Sox he'd be willing to play first base if he had time in spring training to get up to speed and work on it, but didn't want to do it mid-season. That's part of why it broke down. I'm not going to – he's not making $50 million a year, by the way, and I'm not going to accuse him of not being willing to do it when he says I am. The team just hasn't put him there yet because they're not comfortable with him there.
Well, you're talking about he's not comfortable at first base because he'd make an error. You think Wilmer Flores is a defensive flash?
John, what do you want to do, man? They're playing Wilmer at third, and they're playing Dom Smith at first today. Like, I don't know what you want to do. They didn't have a first baseman, and they didn't have a third baseman, really, after Casey Schmidt went down. They don't have their healthy staff out there, or their healthy roster out there. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just upset to be upset, I think, at the way that the Devers has performed. Let's go to Jared. Jared is in Orangevale on our guy Dave McCascal, who's now been banned by the D-backs. What's up, Jared? You're on the Sports Leader.
What's up, guys? KNBR Lifer here.
What's up, bro?
Thank you guys for making my commute better. I appreciate you guys.
Of course, Jared.
Yeah. So, hey, guys. So, talking about saving face, he's been banned, right? Well,
yes.
I don't think the D-backs should be let off the hook here because they're culpable and the way that guy was acting. So I don't want them off the hook after they banned him. And then on top of that, Danny Emmerman kind of blew up my take here because I was going to go off on this rant about grown men, being crazy about home run balls and foul balls and stuff. It's I want to see a sign in baseball stadiums that say something like "No home run hawkers," because I think you guys brought up that other dude that's got 125 home run balls or something like that, and he's going around the stadiums around the nation catching home run balls, and it's that's for kids, man. Yeah. I don't understand grown men that do that stuff. It's weird, and honestly, when I run into an athlete out in the public and stuff, I don't bother those guys. I don't want to make a fool of myself. I might say, hey, thank you, for being such a great ball player, but I feel like there's just this weird psychology thing with certain grown men that they feel like they need to be a kid again at ballparks or something, but that's for kids, not for adults. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Hey, much love, Jared.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so much,
Jared.
man.
I agree 100%. Those type of guys are the guys that didn't go pro that just regret the rest of their lives.
He played a little ball in college, though.
Yeah, I know. And he still says he's athletic.
Dude, this punk ass, dude. This guy
No,
said
but
that stuff is so
I agree
funny.
100%. It's for kids. And this guy, he thinks he's part of the act, thinks that he's actually a player, considers himself a baseball player. I'm retired. It's a joke. This bottom line is, I agree 100%. There's these guys that miss their chance to go pro, and it just eats at them, and they have to be in on the act. But it's not about them.
I don't know that that's particularly the case with this guy. I don't want to psychoanalyze him, and then we're getting beyond what had happened. It's as simple as the guy thought it was cool that he's been a part of this many situations. He went on an Arizona radio show this morning. D-backs were not happy about that because he admits that he's been involved in 9 to 10 of these replay reviews. People are all going, and all of them are for the D-backs, in favor of the D-backs. Of the 4 videos that are out there, the 5 that are out there, they're all, except for last night, in favor of the D-backs. Last night was in favor of the Giants, if it's called a home run.
Right.
But initially they view it as an interference with the player, so they rule Koss out. Then they look at it, and they can't determine that the ball would have gone over. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is we didn't get a chance to see it and let it play out for itself. And then he goes on and goes, no, I've interfered with 9 or 10 of them that Major League Baseball's been happy with. And he goes, well, I've never been warned. And I said to him, you've been ejected 3 times. He goes, well, 2 of them, they just moved him to the upper deck in another one.
That would count as a warning.
Yeah. Jesus, dude.
What's last night? He was thrown out of the game.
We call that kick in the can, is what we call it.
This guy.
Let's go back out to the phone lines. Howard and Rowe are in Sacramento. It's line 5 there, Tim. Howard and Rowe, you're on the Sports Leader.
Hey, guys, we're going to have a little bit of an opposing view, so hopefully you won't go off on us too much.
No, let us hear it.
I want to say we're in the news business. We've been in it for decades between Howard and I. People cancel interviews all the time. I had one canceled just a little while ago, and I'm going to interview someone now to replace him. So quit your belly aching, because guess what?
Well, hold on. I'll give you the opposing view. You're gonna come at me. I'm gonna respond to you. You aren't on air for 4 straight hours planning on doing a segment with the person. You're recording something and you're editing something and you're going to play it later if it gets the cut and the okay to go. I'm sitting here live for 4 hours. When we lose a guest in the middle of the 4 hours, it does impact the show and it's different.
I've had.
Oh, we still have her? Did we lose her? We got you.
Ro, you there?
Yeah, I mean, I've had interviews that were canceled on me that were big interviews, exclusive interviews. We've had people in creative services do things on it, and they were postponed. That just happens. But he did go on your show, which I'm really glad to hear his view. But this is the opposing view that Howard and I have. This dude's a fan. He's a season ticket holder. In my view, he didn't interfere in the game last night. I can't speak for the other times, but you could clearly see that this was a home run ball. It was caught by this fan, and it didn't even touch the player's glove. So if you want to be mad at the umpires for making a sucky call.
Well, if you have to go to review, though, doesn't it mean that he's interfered with the play enough that it had to go to review? Because it was being reviewed for fan interference, not reviewed as to whether or not it went over the wall. It was all part of it, but it doesn't get reviewed if he doesn't leap. It gets reviewed by a video of whether or not the ball hit the wall and went over, but because he interfered, they had to change the call 2 different times.
I disagree. The umps made a bad call. That was a home run ball that he caught, and if you watch it, he doesn't touch. The ball goes over the outfielder's hands, and he's clearly behind the line making the catch. Yeah, he dove over 3 people, but he still made the catch. And here's one other point. Everybody does that. All the fans do it. It's part of the game. It's fun. We were at a Giants game, and Mikey Skrensky threw a warm-up ball to the outfield, and people were jumping over each other.
Yeah, because it's a warm-up ball, not a ball in play. You can do whatever you want on a ball the player tosses to you.
Howard's caught 2 balls that were in play. They were foul balls during a live game. It was in spring training, and then he gave it to a couple of kids.
Yeah, we're not talking. You're talking about Howard and Rowe. You're talking about 2 totally different things. A foul ball up the line in spring training. Do whatever the hell you want with it. They call it foul the second it hits foul, and then you can pick it up and toss it. But if he calls it fair and he reached over, I'd be like, Howard, what are you doing, bro? The ball's in play.
He didn't reach over.
I know. I'm saying the ball's not in play if it's foul, Rowe. It's not in play. It's foul. This was in play.
Okay. But my point is, fans want to have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun, is going for those home run balls, going for those foul balls. It's not just about the integrity of the game. It's about the fan having fun.
What's the opposing viewpoint on somebody doing this 10 different times?
I don't know.
One guy by his own admission, he says 10 times he has had balls replay reviewed by Major League Baseball.
Right.
Well, he's there, though, in that same section because he's a ticket holder.
Okay,
right?
you don't have an argument, guys. Appreciate the call. Thanks, Howard and Rowe. Let's go to Rob in Alameda. Rob, you're on the Sports Leader. You know, they're in news. I don't know if you know they're in news.
Apparently.
Thanks for taking my call.
What's up, Rob?
I don't really want to talk about the ball. I mean, it wasn't necessarily going to be home run, but after that, Devers came up, and I was watching Fox Sports 1, and they said, and I didn't realize this, that he had never had a base hit with runners in scoring position since he's been with the Giants. Now, I know he's hit a couple home runs, but, I don't think he's I listened to a Boston reporter and saying he's very inconsistent as a fielder, throws it over the first base guy's head. He's not reliable, and maybe you guys can help me understand somebody, and I know that he felt they didn't level with him in Boston. They brought in Bregman, and he had he was going to stay there the rest of his career. But to refuse to take ground balls, and you're making $250 million, I just don't understand. I mean, maybe you guys can help me understand why these players are pampered, and you have to beg them to play a position, or I don't want to play first base. I don't want to take ground balls. They're pouting. And so now he's not really a fielder ready to play third base, and I don't think they think he's going to be a third baseman. He's not reliable.
Rob,
I mean, this is just what I've heard.
Yeah, Rob, that was a case of Boston. Nothing has been said about Raffael Devers refusing to play any position with the Giants right now.
No, I'm just talking about with Boston, he was refusing to take ground balls. This is what I heard. And right. I think he's, great. So far, I hope he does well. But between him and Adames, we're both making $250 million. This is the time these guys are going to carry the team. This is when they're supposed to, this is what you're getting paid for. And I know it's not easier said than done, but these are your, stars, and the stars are not shining at all.
Appreciate the call, Rob. Thanks so much. Look, I understand that's like you need these guys to play. That's why the Giants said today they're open to playing him at third base.
Exactly.
They also said he will play first when they feel comfortable with him playing first. So to suggest they're pampering him, like they didn't need him to play first or third base when he got here. They want him to play first, and now they've lost 3 third basemen since Devers was acquired. They've lost 3 guys who play third since he was acquired. So now we're going, hey, he should play third base. He should be willing. Evidently, he is willing. He said, I'll play wherever they need me to play. The relationship in Boston, I don't think should be looked at as how things will go down here, because I think that things soured there in a way that the Giants are trying to communicate better about.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think he's refusing anything.
No, I don't think so either. Real quick, can I go back to Harold and Rowe real quick?
Do we have to?
Just The notion that we're not used to guests canceling on us, I'm sorry. We both have worked in radio for a long time, and we've been producers, all three of us. We deal with that all the time. It's not anything new to us. People drop out from the show all the time, and we deal with it. We were making fun of
people. I've had people cancel all the time. And
Exactly.
I've got to rebook them.
We've dealt with that so many times. It's not anything new to us. Okay, we deal with it in radio.
What's your belly aching? She said. I was like, you're the only one belly aching on this call right now.
But to deal with this guy in the first place, who it was a pain in the ass to get him on initially, and then he cancels and he comes back on.
Yeah.
We were just having fun with it. It's a controversial guest to begin with. So that's why I jokingly said he's a nobody. We've been told by somebodies that we're not doing the show, but a nobody tells us he doesn't want to come on now.
Derek, you don't know an explanation
No,
to Rowe.
I'm not.
You don't know an explanation to Howard Rowe, the guy who caught a ball in play in foul territory, she said, in spring training.
I'm just saying.
And then when I said, what about the 10 times? She's like, I'm talking about last night. I'm like, oh, okay.
I know. But all I want to say is, we're not acting like it's beneath us when people cancel on the show. We've been in this. I know we're new hosting the show.
McCascal, I was. Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, don't act like we're not used to it.
Yeah. You don't know nothing to them. You don't have to. It's fine. We don't got to solve.
I know that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah. That's okay. They didn't have anything useful to add. Adam Copeland, T-Pop, Tim Webb, Dirty Work with you on a Tuesday
Guests
afternoon.
and banana bread dates, just canceling on Derek.
How about this? We're going to take a quick break, and when we come on back, are we going to get into some of the important news of the day?
Let's do the NBA grab
We
bag.
get a deal. It's delivered each and every week.
How was it delivered?
I'll tell you how it was delivered today. The NBA grab bag. It's a big old potato sack looking thing. It's got some words on the side. It says NBA and grab bag. One's an acronym, then it's some words. We'll do it next on the Sports Leader. Diamondbacks, and the guy who interfered with the ball last night, who joined us earlier today, Dave McCascal, has been banned for the remainder of the season by the Arizona Diamondbacks. He did tell us when he did his interview with us, Derek, you asked him if he gets banned or suspended or something, how would he feel? And he said, I'd be devastated. And he said, I would appeal it if there's an appeal that you can file. I was like, I don't think there's an appeals process.
Enjoy the game now, man.
Yeah,
Go
dude.
watch baseball games from your house. Learn the actual names of the players of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Be a fan.
A lot of reaction coming into Howard and Rowe, who called in together with a hell of a take or call. I don't really know what their whole point was.
The Dirty Work News team.
Stop belly aching.
Their counter argument. We got a counter argument. The counter argument was, it's about the fans' baseball. And then they're blaming the umpires. You should be mad at the umpires.
No, totally overlooked
When
this
I bring
guy's
up the
history.
the 9 to 10 times this has happened, and they just don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, 408, holy moly, who the F are Howard and Rowe? And where exactly can we see all of their exclusive interviews? Oh, man. Derek, 925 says, damn, you guys got that nobody to cancel on you, but that nobody got you guys multiple hours of easy content
Turn
today.
into somebody.
You're damn right. So, Tim, when Tim told me that there was a fire alarm going off earlier,
yeah,
we may have to evacuate because the first floor
Do tell.
was the fire alarm was going off.
Go on.
Immediately, what I did during the next commercial break was make sure there was actually no fire or water damage on the first floor.
Oh, really?
Because you know what they keep down at the first floor.
You're going to be the hero, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't. I didn't really care about the damage itself. I more cared about one item and one item only. It got delivered yesterday. It's a big old potato sack looking thing. It's got 3 words. It's more of an acronym and then 2 more words. The acronym's NBA, and the words are grab bag.
For the NBA grab bag.
That was a hell of a setup. All right, the NBA grab bag, and let's start with the NBA. Just quick notes on the latest. I hear you. In the latest in NBA free agency, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signed a 4-year, $285 million Supermax extension, and now he has the highest annual salary in all of, I guess, sports, $71 million a year.
I saw this morning, and like, if I were a cartoon, my eyes would have done the thing where they were like, oh, wow, like whatever.
Cha-ching?
You know? Yeah, cha-ching, like the money signs in the eyes. Dude, 285 over 4 years, and I think it tacks on. He's going to be there until 20. By the way, he'll be there, I think, until
2031.
He'll be there until the Brooklyn Nets go to make that selection for the Michael Porter Jr. Cam Johnson trade. Yeah, so he's under contract for the next 5 years.
Yep.
Because he's got one more. He's going to make over 70 a year. Think about when that contract's up. He'll be 32 years old or something. He's only 26 right now.
It was bound to happen when you're the finals MVP and you're the regular season MVP. And, Jason Tatum was the, he got a contract right after the finals a year ago. So it was bound to happen. I'm not sure that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player in the NBA, but he definitely deserved this contract.
He was the MVP. Who's the best player in the NBA?
Right now?
Nikola Jokic. I think I'm rolling with Jokic as the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like, there was a case for him to win it this year. But OKC ran away with the conference.
Yeah.
And he was deserving of, and the NBA is the one sport, the NFL gets it a little bit. The NBA is the one sport that sort of like designed voter fatigue for MVP.
Definitely.
Like, it's your turn now, Shai.
Definitely. Other quick ones that happened today. Miles Turner signed a 4-year contract with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Saw that.
So not returning to the Indiana Pacers. And along with that move, the Bucks waived Damian Lillard and stretched the remaining $113 million on his contract
Over
for the
5
next
years, right?
For the next 5 years. So he'll be making $22.6 million annually, having his own Bobby Bonilla day.
Happy Bobby Bonilla day.
Yeah, just to go away.
Yeah.
$113 million remaining on the deal. It was due over the next 2 years. They restructured it to be over the next 5, and Dame can still go sign another contract and collect every dime.
Yep.
Now, he's supposed to miss most of the next year after the torn Achilles. That happened in the playoffs, too,
It
right?
did. So I don't think he'll be signed by any team this offseason. So he'll sit out for one season and sign with somebody new next year.
And he's pushing what? He's 34 now?
He'll be 34. So, and I guess that Chris Haynes caught up with Giannis, and Giannis isn't happy about this move, but this is what Dame wanted. In order to get Miles Turner, sorry. I always make that mistake. You needed to make this move.
Different guy.
Miles Turner, pretty good drummer, though.
Yeah,
and lastly here,
too.
Sacramento Kings traded a Jonas Valanciunas to the Denver Nuggets for Dario Saric, and former Warrior Dennis Schroeder goes to the Kings on a 3-year, $45 million deal.
Props to Schroeder, who, was really good with Brooklyn last year, averaging like 18 points. They were a bad team. Never fit into the Warriors system and had a tough time figuring it out after they made the trade for him. Ends up getting traded again, and he ended up, I want to say it was like technically to Utah, but then flipped eventually
Yeah,
to
it was
Detroit.
convoluted.
So he played for 3 teams. He made the playoffs with Detroit, helped Detroit push the Knicks to 6 in the first round of the playoffs this year, and where he played pretty well. I think he shot 47%.
He's a good bench player, but like the Warriors wanted him to be the starting 2 guard, and it wasn't going to fit.
Well, they needed a point guard in Sacramento after they traded Dennis Schroeder. So, after they traded De'Aaron Fox.
Yes.
They now signed Schroeder, so solid ad for them.
Moving on the NBA grab bag.
NBA grab bag.
So this one's interesting. An NBA free agent Malik Beasley might not be signed anytime soon. The U.S. District Attorney's Office is investigating the Detroit Pistons guard on allegations of gambling related to NBA games and prop bets. Multiple videos have resurfaced from a season ago where Beasley refers to betting on himself.
I saw this in an article where the internet sleuths are out there. They're trying to find every game where weird stuff has happened.
Yeah.
They found a game from like last season where he scored 7 points in the final minute, including like a full court rundown layup that covered like a 6.5 point spread and cut it to 7, and he scored 7 the final minute of the game. Like there's some funny situations. He was in negotiations with the Pistons about a 3-year, $42 million
Not anymore, buddy.
deal. And there's also another civil lawsuit that's been filed against him from an agency like today. They're alleging that he owes them like $2.2 million in money that they advanced him. And they said they took a risk on him in 23.
God.
And they gave him like $675,000 in a couple of different payments. They say they advanced him money. He's a guy who's had off-field problems. He had to pass or off-court problems.
Yeah.
He had to pass like an anger management course. He pointed a gun at a family that one time.
Oh, gee. Oh, yeah. I forgot
Remember
about
that, dude?
Yeah.
He's dealt with suspensions, drugs, violent stuff off the court. And then this company kind of invested in him. He never paid them back, or they owes them a bunch of money. He's apparently got bad financial problems, which is something that's being investigated. In addition, there's no attorney listed on the civil suit, so the only comments are coming from the attorney who's on the federal suit, which is the U.S. gambling one.
Bad time to hit free agency, I tell you.
Tough deal for Malik Beasley, who, by the way, finished second in the league with 300 threes this year.
Yeah, tough boobies. Moving on the NBA grab bag.
NBA grab bag.
I like that.
EA Sports announces they're bringing back an NCAA basketball game for the first time since 2009.
I love this.
Can you name the cover athlete of that last game? 2009.
Of the last video game? Was it Blake Griffin?
It was Blake Griffin.
That would be I don't think I had that one. I think the last edition I had was like an ESPN basketball one. It used to be a 2K Sports version, but ESPN basketball was the title.
Right.
College basketball. I think TJ Ford was on the cover, Tim. TJ Ford out of Texas?
You might be right.
Was he go to Texas?
That sounds familiar,
Yeah,
yes.
DJ Augustine were out there together. Abrams was there afterwards. Anyway, I was a maniac about this game. I used to always start a franchise mode. I think I may have told you this with a black college. Like I'd go with the Howard Bison, but I didn't care about race. I just recruited whatever the best players were in the nation.
Okay.
I won a national championship at one time. I was like the reverse of Texas Western, dude. I was like the reverse of that movie Glory Road. I started like 4 white players at
Look at you.
at an HBCU, dude. We became a powerhouse. Wouldn't leave for any other deals. I can't wait for this to come out because I'm gonna be taking down some Spellman national titles or some.
There you go.
Watch
some
out, Jacksonville State.
Yeah, watch out, the Bison. They're coming.
Moving on the NBA grab bag.
Grab bag.
The New York Knicks have narrowed down their coaching search to 3 people: Mike Brown, Taylor Jenkins, and 3-time NCAA champion South Carolina's Dawn Staley.
The who? The Knicks?
Yes.
By the way, Staley just flared up at Chase Center the other day.
Yeah.
She was catching our Cree. Who cut Van Loo today, by the way. Don't you know? There's your Cree
Cree's ball.
Cree minute of the day.
I may have more about the Cree later on.
Dude, Dawn Staley is getting interviewed by...
That's the rumor. It sounds like Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins are the leading candidates and got second interviews. But the fact that Dawn Staley's getting interviews, I always thought that Becky Hammon was going to be the first woman to coach in the NBA, given her association with Greg Popovich.
She coached a summer league team, and she was an assistant for the Spurs, and now she's a WNBA coach. I believe.
She is, but I think this is the next step. I do believe that eventually we will have a woman coaching an NBA team.
I think so, too. Is it a better gig for Dawn, though? I don't know.
Coach the Knicks or South Carolina?
I'm just like, it's like the college football coach thing. She's at a level in women's college basketball right now that very few people reach. She's got the national championships. She's the number 1 recruiter in the nation for her university. It's like them and UConn still, right? And you get a couple of Notre Dame. It's been fantastic. But when you're in the class that she's in, you're king. Like you're the queen of the castle. You're in charge of everything that goes on, right? So you leave only when that opportunity, I think, is the right one. If this is a goal of hers or something that she feels like, if it's offered to me and I don't take it, will she get the offer again? I remember reading about Frank Robinson. Frank Robinson, former Giants manager and one of the all-time great, one of the most underrated players, in my opinion, the most underrated player in the history of Major League Baseball. Frank Robinson said, when I took the first job at manager, might have been Baltimore, I think he said if I didn't take it then, I thought maybe another black manager wouldn't have come along for 30 years.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's that sort of pressure and that responsibility. But is it the best move for her? Can't imagine the Knicks are.
Maybe because they're on the cusp of going to the NBA Finals. At the same time, we'll see if she gets another interview.
I want her to have a better owner, is what I want.
Yeah.
I want a better owner.
These are just rumors, so I don't know if there's legitimacy to these. But at the same time, I think her time is coming. Whether it's in the WNBA to be a head coach, I think she will go professional soon. But yeah, I do want to see whether it's Becky Hammon or Dawn Staley. Eventually, there will be a woman that coaches in the NBA. Speaking of that, moving on to the NBA grab bag.
NBA grab
Sticking with
bag.
women's sports, the Golden State Valkyries are currently 9-7. Won 4 of their last 5 games, are in 6th place. The top 8 teams make the postseason. According to Tim Kawakami, Chase Center is mostly booked during the early rounds of the postseason, and they could be forced to play playoff games in Oakland at the old Oracle Arena.
So we're going WNBA grab bag.
Yes.
As 707 says, 4 basketball stories in a row. Derek is ruining the NBA grab bag.
NBA grab bag.
Just give it time, everybody.
I'm with you. I think it'd be great if we got games out at Oracle. The thing I hate is making the original Oracle Arena, the arena in Oakland. I hate making that like, hey, look at us, we're back for more.
Yeah.
Because we don't have an option of where else to. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. Because here's the thing: if it were the Dubs, they wouldn't be rolling back over to Oakland. Well, they'd be canceling Jelly Roll or whoever the hell is coming to Chase.
Well, of course, if it's the Warriors.
Well, why are we treating the Valkyrie any different?
I'm with you on that.
Well, they're selling out every game. They're playing better than people anticipated. Joe Lacob and Gruber own them. Why are we? I don't like doing the pat on the head to the arena in Oakland and to the fans out there going, "Hey, we'll come back and play so we can line both our pockets." Like, no. If you're going to be in on this team, then be in on this team. If you got to move if you got to move them because the playoffs are here, then move them.
I see both arguments. I totally understand. Zena Cato was actually bringing this up on Twitter the other day where it's like, no, the Valkyries are attraction right now, so you should cancel whatever things you have going on so people can enjoy the home playoff vibes. At the same time, I would
totally... out to ChaseCenter.com. We got Taylor Swift coming. Jelly Roll, he's going to be here unless the Valkyrie makes the playoffs. And you want to check it out at Valkyries.com. / tickets for more.
I also would be totally in favor of professional basketball games being played at Oakland again.
Me too. I'm just saying I don't like the context in which this is happening.
I know.
I'm in for what you're saying.
Yes.
I actually think it's cool and it would be fun. I just don't like. Did you guys just want to make money in both places? And I get all that. Good for you. But you just got a $5 million evaluation.
Exactly.
On the crease.
All right, last one in the NBA grab bag.
NBA grab bag.
Over the weekend at a Pirates game, a fan put a message on the electric fence saying, "Cheryl, please take me back. I'm sorry I kissed your sister, Tim."
I said Tim?
Yep.
No.
So this guy, Tim, kissed Cheryl's sister. And it's a whole awkward thing. That's not a message you really want on the Jumbotron or anywhere near a baseball.
It was also not even like the big Jumbotron.
No,
it was the one that
was on
like,
the electric fence.
They have one on the wall that's like a fence sign. And they
So it could be like a funny thing, like an inside joke. At the same time, this is real. That's a text. That's a simple text.
Yeah.
Standing up for all Tims everywhere, too. He also spelled your U-R.
Yeah, well, you only get a certain number of characters, Tim.
Sorry, I kissed your sister. My bad.
Sorry, I kissed. Do you believe it? You think it was a real thing?
Well,
take me back?
Here's the thing. What if they're twins? And it was a misunderstanding.
See.
It was a mix-up.
I've been there. Did the sister kiss back is the question.
I haven't been there.
Because if she's a twin, you've been there with twins?
No, I'm kidding.
I was like,
twins,
dude.
Basil.
Twins.
And twins.
Oh, man. It's a double mint commercial, dude.
Yep, it is.
I don't know. I think personally, I think any personal message on the board outside of like happy birthday or happy anniversary or first Giants game, I think all that. I'm not big on the ballpark proposal. If that's your thing, by all means, I'm not yucking your yum on that regard. This one, bro, like she must love ball. You know what I mean? She must be a big Pirates fan if you're doing this.
What if the Diamondbacks, instead of emailing Dave McCascal, put a sign on the Jumbotron saying, "Hey, Dave, you've been banned."
Dave, you've been banned. Sorry.
Please leave now.
Please leave now. Originally, they just sent him an email. Remember,
Yeah.
he told us. 623 checks in and says, Dave McCascal, Howard, and Rowe are the three most annoying people I've heard in about 2 weeks. Tim responded back and said they made the guy from San Quentin sound pretty good.
I love that guy from San Quentin.
We had a San Quentin.
60 seconds remaining.
Marty called in, and that's what played during Marty's
I was counting
call.
on the seconds. I was like, oh, he's running out of time.
This is a Marty house.
This texter 623 came back to Tim and said, by the way, 623 in Arizona.
Yeah.
Said, I completely agree. I felt bad for the San Quentin guy. Running out of time? Poor bastard. I wonder how many cigarettes he gave up for that 15 minutes. That 1 minute left warning was heartbreaking.
Hey, guys, I gotta listen to Dirty Work.
Yeah, give it to me again, Tim.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And
Shout
that's
out
your
that,
NBA
Marty.
grab bag.
And that is your NBA grab bag for Tuesday, July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day, 2025. We got about 25 minutes until Giants pregame.
Yes, we do.
Giants and the D-backs, sans Dave McCascal, who's been banned for the season.
Plenty of time.
Which means we have plenty of time. He begged for it. Tim, we weren't gonna sell you short on a day like today.
I offered to sit this one out. It was fine.
Nobody heard that. All we heard was a begging and a pleading and a peeing hitting the ground.
And a big announcement.
And a big announcement, apparently, in a segment we call Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia. He hosts trivia at the bitter end in San Francisco. Best trivia in America. You can be there tonight with Tim. He's going to give us a slice of life take, a sports take, and he'll give us a couple of trivia questions that you'll hear tonight at the bitter end. It's Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia. It's coming up next. We got McCascal banned. How about that? On the Sports Leader.
Papa on KNBR 104.5 and 680 AM, the sports leader.
What a fun show today, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fun show.
A lot of ground covered.
A lot of Giants news, too.
707 said, man, what a show today. Yeah, we opened with the show finding out Bob Melvin got an extension, or not an extension, his option for 2026 exercised and picked up. Then we find out that Christian Costco's on the injured list.
Yep.
And they recall Luis Matos, who's on the bench tonight. But you've got Wilmer Flores going to play at third base today. So we've got all that Giants news. And we have Dave McCascal, the punk ass who interfered with the ball last night. And finally, we got some good news for the Giants.
Good news.
Good news. It's a suppository. And the suppository says banned for the season. That's what Dave McCascal got today. Shoved right up his A, dude, after he joined us today here on Dirty Work. If you want to hear it, full interviews up on KNBR.com, the KNBR app, or the Sports Leader app, or it will be. I think they've put out the whole video interview of it up on the The Sports
With
Leader.
so much stuff going on today, I'm a little behind on that. But I'll
Twitter
get it there.
account. That's okay, Tim. Tim's got a lot to do. Plus, we got a grab bag in there for you.
Good
We
news.
still have time for takes. What else you got?
Just a little Giants extra news, courtesy of Alex Pavlovich. Not only breaking news, but Bob Melvin spoke to the media and said, in addition to groin tightness, Raffael Devers has been dealing with some back tightness, and he's been up for playing third base when healthy. But right now, he's not even cleared for first base, so for the time being, it will be Wilmer Flores and Brett Wisely until Matt Chapman returns.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that groin.
So we got Giants baseball coming up, 5:40 pregame, a 6:40 first pitch, and we do it every Tuesday. He hosts trivia at the bitter end on Tuesday nights. It's Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia.
It's time for Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia on KNBR, the Takes leader.
All right, friendos.
What you got, Tim? I was promised a very special announcement. In
We'll
today's
get
takes.
to the end. I don't know.
Tim gives us a sports take, a slice of life take, and then some trivia that you will hear tonight at the bitter end. So, Tim, where are we starting today?
Well, I think it would be easy to do a Tim's Tuesday Take and Trivia on last night's legend who decided it was his life's mission to relive the high school glory days and inject himself into a game 10 times by his count and a 3-time ejectee. But I choose not to waste another second on this guy who wants to live his life being a cosplay sixth outfielder.
Yeah.
But you have to admit, you guys are probably coming around to my side of the fence of banned for life thing. By the way,
Yes.
I wrote this before he got banned. So.
Yeah, he's not banned for the season by the D-backs.
No, today's take is about the ineffectiveness of the Giants offense and and at what point is it okay to say, what the hell? I say this on the heels of last week's scorching take of Tim's first half grades. Yeah, I got out a little ahead of the midway point, but you can see my logic. The Giants were taking on the Marlins and the White Sox, and there's nothing that could possibly go wrong or that we could learn from facing two bottom-feeding last teams. Yeah. After immediate text to both Derek and admitting that I basically tanked the Giants, a week of 1-6 has reinforced the idea that A, I suck, and that B, the flaws on this team are impossible to ignore. Now we here at the Sports Leader and at Dirty Work can echo and amplify the obvious observation that yes, the team's high-priced players need to lead the charge in turning around the offense, the Adamises, the Ramoses, the Devers. But the thought that I'm kicking around right now is, when is the breaking point, the inflection point where you, the fan, are sitting watching the same movie over and over again before we all become 805 rage? By the way, 10 more voicemails.
Yeah, dude.
He's averaging 10.5 a game right now. To which I say, yeah, I think we're kind of close to if we're not there already. And the reason is twofold. Number one, because the team has legit proven talent that is wildly unperforming. And because the team's pitching has been so good that it makes the team's lack of offense even more glaring and frustrating. The team is in every game. But if I'm being honest, when the Giants go down 2 runs, I don't have the confidence for their ability to rally.
Nope.
That late inning hit that Wilmer Flores or Jung-Hoo Lee was getting, that's gone. The strikeout rate is extreme, and per Copes' stat yesterday, the team's numbers with running and scoring position is putrid. But the second reason the breaking point might be here or is close to here is Giants baseball this week. It has been a rough watch, an extremely tough watch.
Oh, it's Tuesday.
Oh,
this
my
week.
gosh. Well, baseball is inherently, this
Jesus
whole last
Christ.
week,
Yeah.
while baseball is inherently a sport whose premise is based on failure, the sheer volume of failure,
Yeah.
call it what it is, it sucks. And I find myself irritated watching games. I find those thoughts of, well, how is this going to go wrong, creep into my head.
Yeah.
and the actual surprise when something goes well. That 2 weeks of really bad ball, what it does to fan, when some Zach Hampel wannabe doofus reaches over and interferes with the ball, when a pitcher balks, hell, when your local radio station chowderhead gets on the air and gives an opinion a AAA first half ranking and promptly sends the team in a week of implosion, everything as a fan makes you mad. Hence, as Giant fans, I feel like the breaking point is pretty much here. Now, fortunately, all it takes is a few games of breakout hitting to get me back. A 2-home run game that you weren't expecting. A blowout that you didn't see coming, which I promise you I'll be on the bar stool saying, we're back, baby! But until then, if you're simmering, if you're stewing, dare I say, if you are raging, today we see you. I see you. So I ask you, how do you guys feel? Is this the breaking point for Giants fans?
It's getting there.
I don't know. Again, something's got to give. And I don't know if there's a breaking point until it feels like the season has bottomed out. I don't feel that way now because you have so much time left, because there's still hope about real players who will contribute. This isn't like hoping that Gerard Encarnacion will be something when he shows up. We still haven't seen a lineup that featured a full unit of all of these guys, right? Like, we want to see Chapman out there. We want to see Devers in there as a full lineup. Like, we really want to see them get going with a healthy lineup. Not every team gets that or gets that opportunity. The expectation, I would think, is that at some point you'll get Casey Schmidt at second, Devers at first, Chapman at third base, Wilmer DHing, and maybe another addition somewhere else with Elliot Ramos. Maybe that gives something. I don't think this is a bottom out for Giants fans, though. I think the reason people are pissed is because they know that this level of player that's not achieving success now has done so in the past, but we're not that far from it. I mean, we're a month away of this continuing and people being pissed. They finished now back-to-back months under 500, back-to-back 13 and 14 months as we start July now. Haven't had a winning month since April.
I hear you, Copes. You keep saying something's got to give, but what if it's just another Jack Nicholson rom-com? This is as good as it gets.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would have called it a Helen Hunt com, but yeah, I'm with you. He's a
star. He's a star.
As good as it gets?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
I think both movies are Jack Nicholson realizing he's an old man.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of all.
That's about a decade and a half of those.
He flared up again during the playoffs. We saw him out at Crypto.com.
Oh, look
dude.
at him. Nice.
Popped up, dude. Tim, I
You know
don't
what else
know-
popped up then, probably?
It's a look. What?
You know, Jack with his women getting some Viagra then,
Yeah,
probably.
okay. I think it was with his kid, dude. Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
all right.
Yeah, all right. Jesus Christ.
About the dirty work.
Jesus. All right, Tim, what you got for a slice of life take?
Well, slice of life. I regret to inform all of you, the filth, the dust bunnies, the dirt bags, that dirty work will not be at full strength coming next week. I know. I can feel the emptiness that you're feeling right now. Our very own Derek Papa will be making his annual trip to Del Boca Vista into the villages to mingle with the Gray Foxes and do his best Florida man impersonation. So if you see any stories about a naked guy robbing a Publix of Slim Jims,
that's me.
Someone bringing their pet alligator to a strip club, or anything about book bans or corn dog base assaults, keep your eyes out for our guy Derek, because when it's Florida time, Derek gets nuts.
You know it.
It's a well-timed vacation in the sports calendar where it gets a bit sparse. The window between where after Aaron Rodgers finally signs, but before Jonathan Kuminga actually gets anything done.
Yeah.
It's a much-deserved vacation for our guy who works his ass off, not only as a producer, but hosting the show.
Thank you, Tim.
However, once again, Adam and I will be spending a lot of time together. It is a true story. I don't think I spend any more time with another human than Adam Copeland.
We do. We spend a lot of time
It's
together.
why
bro.
we choose to live Moss as much as we do, just like we did today, and it was delicious. And while Derek can never be replaced, it does mean that we get to enjoy a few days with a few of our favorite people. We get a Larry Krueger at the Patio 58 social talking about the 74th dude on the 49ers roster. We get a Kerry Crowley in person for you in a few days, so the
Kerry.
audience will be covered.
So Derek will be out next week. Derek will be out starting next Thursday.
Yep.
And into the entire next week. So Derek's off for like 7
I know
shows.
a lot of people looking forward to this.
I got Krueger filling in with me for Derek in studio. That'll be a blast. We got some Kerry Crowley in studio filling in, and then Tim.
The audience is going to be covered with one very notable exception. So a little bit of breaking news. Hold on to your 10-gallon hats. For the first time in nearly 20 years, yours truly, Tim Webb, will be co-hosting Dirty Work with Adam Copeland next Thursday. say, what in God's name are we doing?
Did you know that when Tim begged for this segment, that it was going to parlay into a career of like getting a call up to do some actual shows?
It just shows that peeing your pants sometimes helps.
Well, a few quick things here, okay? Just like this segment, I did not beg for this. I did not plead. I did not grovel. I did not wet myself, at least not intentionally.
He wrote all this in preparation.
I've been fortunate enough to be front row for some of the greatest sports moments in Bay Area history and with some of the greatest talent ever assembled. So it is not lost on me how fun this is going to be and what an opportunity it is. We have a few special guests in mind, and this is all to you. This is an open invitation to call in, participate, rip, and clown away. Because I love to say at trivia night, this is going to be an adventure for us all.
Hell yeah, Tim.
So, fellas, give me a quick pointer. Being in the big chair for the first time, what do you say?
Go ahead, Derek. What would you tell Tim?
Show?
You've been doing the show for how long now, Derek? You've been doing it since December?
About 7 months. I guess my best piece of advice to host on this show, Tim, and this show alone, you probably need a famous dad. That's probably the best course of action.
So screwed.
Yeah, dude. You better find you a better dad. Somebody with some notoriety. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. We're gonna have a good time, Tim.
Yes.
This is how it should be. Derek
I'm
will be
looking
out.
forward to it.
Tim will slot right in. I think Tim's like the Crash Davis of KNBR.
No, dude. I honestly, when I
kind of
heard
a dubious honor after 20 years, he gets a nod. You know what I mean?
When I heard this news that Tim's gonna be filling in while I'm gone, I love it. I can't wait. I'm gonna be listening while I'm on vacation for a little bit of time. But Tim, I could not be happy for you, man. Thank you. I mean, this is totally awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate
I'll tell you what 650 says. 650 says, damn, given these takes by Tim, you kind of meddled it in today.
Stealing your thunder.
You better come with some heat, Tim.
Get ready for next Thursday.
I'm looking forward to it, bro. Next Thursday, Tim and Copes here on Dirty Work. Tim, we're up against it. What you got for us?
I'll give you a real quick
trivia.
one. This type of chips was invented at Disneyland. That's a true story. Was it Fritos? Was it Doritos? Or was it Cheetos?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Cheetos.
Is a Cheeto a chip?
In this context, yes.
I don't know. It's not the same as like a Reese's Cup being a candy bar. That is a candy bar.
Yeah.
Cheeto's not a chip.
I'm going with Cheetos.
It's like saying a Puff's a chip. I'm gonna go with Doritos.
It was Doritos.
Damn it!
I think it was Nacho.
All right.
Taco.
All right, good deal. That's your Tim's Tuesday Takes and Trivia. You can see him at the bitter end tonight for more trivia, and you got one Dorito in the bag. A Cheeto is not a chip. When we come on back, we'll put the show to bed, get you ready for Giants pregame. It's the Giants and the D-backs, 5:40 pregame, 6:40 first pitch. It's Dirty Work. It's the greatest show in America, and it's the only show that got Dave McCascal banned by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Dirty Work rolls on the Sports Leader. You got to give the people what they want.
So who's going to be on the board, Tim, while you're hosting the show?
Anybody can do better than that. A fun fact, when the stuff keeps playing and it says it's not, you just got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, you just got to keep going.
There you go.
I like this.
Now it's the Thin Tim mistake of the day.
We got Giants pregame in about 3 minutes here. A little less than that as the Giants are taking on Arizona game 2. What a fun show today, man.
Very fun.
Just, exactly the kind of show you and I always want to do. We were sort of on the flew by the seat of our pants a little bit, getting Dave McCascal on, who was the
It was
bum.
an adventure. It was fun.
He was the bum from left field yesterday, who's now been banned by the D-backs. And you don't have to feel bad for him because he's been taking victory laps. Went on an Arizona radio show this morning, was bragging about all his home run balls, thinks it's such a cool thing. He's been honored on the field before the game. Well, not anymore. Mr. Season ticket holder, you're not allowed to come to the game for to a game for the remainder of the season. We'll see what happens.
Bring a glove to your couch.
Beyond that. Tim, you got a note to self for us as we put the show to bed?
Note to self.
Yeah, note to self, even though I clowned on it a little bit, I'm pretty excited to host. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys letting me do it. Thanks.
It's going to be good, dude. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm so happy for you, man.
I didn't have
I'm
a
gonna pee
choice,
myself.
by the way. He said let you do it. That wasn't up to me. We'll have a good time, Tim. Derek, what you got? Note to self.
Note to self: if Bob Melvin was worried that fans would be upset about his about him coming back for another season, you could thank Dave, whatever the hell his name was. Who did we have on earlier?
Dave McCascal.
Dave McCascal for stealing his thunder. That was kind of the attention drawn on him of just how terrible of a guy he is.
So wait, what's your note to self?
My note to self is that
what are you trying to tell us?
If Bob Melvin was worried that fans were going to be in like an uproar over him coming back for another season, people were more focused on Dave McCascal.
You're saying note to self, Dave McCascal saved Bob Melvin from any like hate or fury today.
Basically, yes.
Blowback.
Yes.
I think I understand what you're saying now.
I'm trying.
I think I got there. Sort of roundabout way to get
there. Yeah, we was there.
Did you guys know that McCaskill played ball in college?
No, he's also athletic.
Played a little ball in college. I don't know if you saw that. And he's retired. It's baseball and golf.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Shout out our guy, shout out our guy Marty in San Quentin. Note to self. Derek said one of my favorite lines he's ever said today. Tough boobies.
Yep.
I like that a lot, dude. We're gonna keep that
The
one.
one about being stood up by a nobody was pretty good, too.
Yeah, the one about, hey, we've been stood up by somebody's before. First time we've been stood up by a nobody.
I offended Roe, though. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, stay tuned for her newscast, and you can make her feel better. That's going to do it for Dirty Work on a Tuesday afternoon. Hey, thanks to the filth today.
Yes.
Everybody who called in, everybody who was a part of the show, everybody on the Sports Theater YouTube channel who was a part of this. This is why we love doing this show. We have a blast. We like being different than the other shows, goofing off, having some fun. You can count on us to try to get you through the afternoon with a whole bunch of crap like this, and sometimes even a Pat H crap at the end of the show. And for anybody who needs to hear it, and like our texter said earlier, it's probably Dave McCascal. Hey, Dave, it gets easier. Every day it gets a little easier. Just got to do it every day. That's the dirty work, but it does get easier. Giants and the D-backs, game 2 of a 4-game series, coming up next on the Sports Leader.
I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Go, yeah.